hey, guess what? We found this baby, and the mother said she's not the mother. What's that scream to you? If you're
I get it.
Crime never pays. The following are cold cases that were reopened after a decade or more, ultimately ensuring that the suspects went behind bars.
This is where she laid with the dump.
Sometimes that's just the way Bonnie is. I don't know. She's just mean.
On June 25, 2010, 47-year-old Bonnie Woodward finished her shift at the Eunice Smith Nursing Home in Alton, Illinois, but never made it home. That evening, her red Chevy Avalanche was found abandoned in the parking lot, windows rolled down in a way she'd never leave them. Investigators soon uncovered deep family tensions. Just days earlier, Bonnie's 17-year-old stepdaughter Heather had run away, claiming Bonnie was cruel and controlling, and found refuge with Roger and Monica Carroll, who appeared to offer her safety. But beneath the surface, Roger's hatred for Bonnie grew. When his fingerprints were found on her truck, suspicion pointed his way, yet with no body or solid evidence, the case went cold for 8 long years. In 2018, after a violent domestic incident, Monica finally broke her silence, revealing a confession her husband had once made that blew open the case after so long. With that revelation, the case was reopened, and what followed were the interrogations of Roger and Heather, each peeling back a new layer of lies, secrets, and buried motives. What would emerge next was a twisted mystery far darker than anyone imagined.
But when we started this morning, you said the helicopter started flying over. You saw that, I guess, right away.
Well, I heard it at 6-ish, quarter to 6 or 6-ish.
Did you think that was related to you, or you just wonder what that's about, or did it?
Oh, then I kept hearing it, and I went outside and seen it, flying circles, around our house, and it's like, well. And then last Friday, the 24th, an airplane flew over about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't know if that would have been related to us or not.
Circling the house. But
a little suspicious, I guess, how you're thinking. Okay. But as far as this morning, just to reiterate, we came out, you didn't know that we were coming, obviously. I mean, other than the helicopter and the airplane, I guess, but did you, and your son left, and then you guys left, and you contacted me. I just want to make sure for my notes that I got this straight, that I contacted you, we took you off to the side, I let you know your Miranda rights, we went over, and then we kind of basically just walked you through the scenario. For the record, that you asked about the dog hits. The dogs hit on a dirt shovel, and I guess a hard rake in the I know for sure a dirt shovel, and one of the 4-wheeler's back tires. I don't know what that means. They'll probably just end up swabbing all that stuff, doing DNA analysis on it, and then a couple different spots in your wooded area they've hit on, which is going to require some digging. So anyway, there's a good chance we'll be there overnight.
Did they tear the house up?
I don't think so. I told them to go as easy as they could, that you were being, you're talking to me and being reasonably cooperative, and I didn't really want them to, the problem is if the dog hits, and I think they're going to do the last thing, because they're doing DNA analysis of your house, taking hair samples and tapings off all the furniture. So I don't think they wanted to run the dogs in there first, because then they'd have some dog hair. So I think they wanted to do their thing in the house first with their CSI people, do all the tapings, do all the swabs, do all the fingerprint dusting, and then do the dog at the last. So what I'm saying is that dog through the house is probably going to be one of the last things that they do.
The detective sits across from Roger while revealing that cadaver dogs have hit on shovels and tools taken from his property, a chilling sign that something terrible may be buried there. But this revelation is only the first piece of a much darker puzzle.
Your account, basically, read your Miranda earlier, and we went over that. Basically, that on that day you came back from Goreville, you came with Nathan, and you stayed on your property until you guys went to dinner somewhere that evening. Is that roughly what happened? You don't recall any time that you went to Alton at all on that day, and your gray car was there on that day, but you guys brought the Envoy and the boat back. Is that right?
Yeah.
You from Goreville, you and Nathan, leaving Heather and your wife down with the in-laws.
Yes.
And you came back that day because there was a pending family feud or something that was about to go bad, and you didn't really want to be there when it happened. We don't need to get into that, but and it just happened to be the day that Bonnie disappeared. And for the most part, you recall cutting brush that day. Is that?
And doing some mowing. I think I did some mowing.
Okay.
Worked out in the woods.
Right.
That type of thing. Yeah.
Then Nathan would have been inside.
Yeah, it was real hot that day.
Okay.
And he was inside.
Did he stay inside most of the day while you were?
Most of it, yeah. He was really tired and all that kind of stuff, and so
That's
anyway. Yeah.
similar to the way my kid does it. It's real hot. He stays inside, and I work out. I don't know how that works out that way, but it seems to be pretty consistent behavior. Anyway, so you don't recall anything particularly unusual. You didn't borrow your dad's car that day, which your dad has a silver Malibu also, right?
That's correct.
And you have a silver Malibu,
That's correct.
and that would have been parked there yours would have been parked at your house all day that day. And in fact, when you guys went to Goreville, that Malibu stayed back at the house.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as Bonnie, you've never had a conversation with that woman, and you've never been face to face with that woman. You know where she lives, but you've never, other than you've driven by there, but 2 times, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And the first time you drove by her residence would have been after Heather's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And on that particular day, you just stopped long enough for Heather to get out of the car, and then you drove on.
Yes.
And then the second time you went by there would have been the day you picked up Heather from the Shuffle's house, which is in the same neighborhood, I guess. And just by happenstance, you drove by Bonnie's house that day with Heather on your way back to your house.
Yes.
Okay, never stopped, never had any contact with her. Okay. And you've never been in an argument with Bonnie? She's never been in your vehicles?
That's correct.
She's never been in your dad's vehicle?
No.
Okay. She's never been in your Envoy?
Mm-hmm.
And you've never been in her vehicle?
Right.
And you've never had occasion to handle her vehicle or touch her vehicle?
That's correct.
Okay. And you do know what she drives, but you don't know if you've ever really seen it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And what does she drive?
A red Avalanche.
Okay. And on the 2 occasions you've had a chance to drive by her house, not sure if that's been there or not?
I can't recall.
Okay. Because you were just, one time you didn't stop at all, and the other time you just stopped long enough for Heather to get out.
Right.
Okay.
When Heather first fled from Bonnie's home, she didn't run straight to the Carroll family. Instead, she sought comfort in the home of Christine Scheffel, her former teacher and trusted mentor. Later, Heather started living with Roger Carroll and his family, a shift that would set events spiraling towards tragedy.
So certainly on June 25th, you were out on that lot. You, your gray car, and you would have never had an occasion to contact Bonnie Woodward on that parking lot. And certainly wouldn't have seen her vehicle in that parking lot because you weren't there. Okay. Did you ever have calls back and forth from Bonnie Woodward, like her yelling at you, any kind of disagreements with? You've never had a conversation with her?
No.
Okay. What about emails with the computer? Never had any conversations like that with her?
I never. Now, I'm not an email person. I don't do the computer thing. To my knowledge, like I said, my wife does the email thing. Now, whether or not, well, I don't think they did because I would have heard about it. You know what I'm saying? Monica would have said something, hey, Bonnie, call me, or whatever.
Right. But really, your association with Bonnie is almost non-existent. according to you, right? I mean, you have met Heather almost a year ago through church,
Right.
and then you saw her, I guess, routinely at church or regularly, or
Yeah, we would go to church on Sunday mornings,
okay,
and that's where we would see her.
okay, and I guess you become somewhat friendly with her, and she apparently at some point became attracted to your son. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
Okay. But she's probably more interested in your son than she was you guys, but you guys were still relatively friendly with her?
Oh, we were friendly with her. I mean, just, I don't know, talking about careers in school and, you need to go to college, be sure you go to college and that kind of stuff,
Did she complain to you about the treatment she was getting from Bonnie, like way back then when you first met her, or did it take a while? Or?
It wasn't, of course, right off, time frame. I don't really.
Was she talking to your son more about it than you, or do you know? Do you remember when she first brought it up? Did you hear it through your son, or excuse me? It's not a huge deal.
May have heard it from I think the lady that does the church route. She had said, man, she's in a bad situation. Her stepmom's a kook or whatever.
Right.
That's how we first heard about it, and
Okay.
then just kind of started just maybe overly observing and
Paying attention to it then.
yeah.
So, really though, she never stayed at your house up until this runaway situation occurred
Correct.
when her mom, she runs away, runs to Scheffel's house. At some point, stepmom says that's not cool anymore, and she wants her to return. So then Heather calls you guys,
Yes.
kind of as the backup plan. She'd been staying with Christine Scheffel,
Yes.
and then you guys are the backup plan.
Yes.
Okay. And then so she calls you, whatever night that was, and says, "Hey, I can't stay here anymore."
Yeah.
Did she talk to you or Monica?
Monica, and I could hear her talking. I mean, I could hear her crying. She was just frantic,
Right.
Oh my God, Bonnie called and said that she's going to come get me tomorrow. That I have to pack my stuff up, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And
Right. Okay. So she kind of played on your soft hearts and said, "Can I come stay there?" I guess when it got down to it, she's asking if she can come stay, I guess.
she never said, "Can I come stay?" Just to be honest about it, I'm the one who said, "Hey, this is a bunch of crap. Why don't we just go? She can stay with us."
Okay. Okay.
I'm the one that said that.
Okay. And that's, I mean, if you're really, I agree with you, if your intent is to take care of a kid that's in a bad spot, I mean, I don't think anybody can, deny that that's an admirable thing. I mean, now, whether or not her situation was as bad as she suggested to you that it was is up for debate.
I know.
But at that point anyway, she convinced you that, hey, I need help, and you reached out to her and said, okay, we'll come get you. I guess you said we'll come get you tomorrow. Is that?
That night. I mean, I said we'll come get you right now.
Oh, okay.
So this was like it's about midnight.
Okay. So that's when you went down there?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's when you'd have swung by, picked her up at Scheffel's, I guess. Was I think we covered this already. Was Christine there when you got there? Did you talk to Christine then?
Yeah.
And I guess she's like, look, I'd like to keep her, but I can't. I'll lose my job, that kind of thing. Or did she? I think what happened was once the police got involved with the run, Scheffel's like, look, I'd like to help, but I can't do this anymore. And, whatever. So you talked to Christine briefly, and Christine was good with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys took her back home that night?
You mean to our house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that was at about midnight on whatever that, I don't know what the date was.
Yeah.
It seems like it was June 17th, I don't know if I got their dates right or not. But
Roger insists his only intention is to help. He is simply protecting a frightened teenager caught in a storm of family conflict. But words can hide more than they reveal. And as Heather faces down her own interrogation, her story is about to either bring the truth into focus or shatter it completely.
Did you know what day or when that was that you left?
I left early that Thursday morning.
Where was Miss Scheffel?
She left for school because she teaches summer school.
Okay, how long does she teach during the day?
She goes to school from 7, like around 6:30 to 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. And did you tell her where you were going to be going?
No.
Okay. And then how much stuff did you have that you packed up?
I packed my carpet bag and my brown bag and the pink bag I bought. It's just got books in it.
Okay. It's a lot of bags.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then I went to stay at a friend's house.
Okay. And who was that?
Just a friend. I don't want to get him in trouble. So, just a friend. They helped me. And they knew the situation, so.
Well, you know I have to ask who it is. That's just part of the whole deal here. And then we'll talk to them, and if we need to talk to them, we can. If we don't need to, we don't have to. But also because you were under the age of 18, we need to know because we want to make sure that wherever you were safe and that you were well taken care of. I know you say that you were, but it'd be something for us to maybe, even if we need to or if my boss wants to later on, they can go check into it.
I don't.
I know you don't want to get them in trouble, but you know I have to ask that.
They're not going to get in trouble, are they?
Well, I don't know about that, but at least we need to make sure that everything was okay over there, that you were provided the right amount of things. And maybe if they know more information about the other case that we're looking forward to, that'd be good people to talk to next. Because you understand that Bonnie's missing right now, we don't have a clue where she's at. So anything that would help us, any other leads or information would be great.
They don't know nothing. They don't like Bonnie. I don't want to know where Bonnie's at. I'm worried about my brother.
Which brother?
Aaron.
Okay.
My brother's going to nap. He's got a brain condition.
Okay. So have you been staying over at the same house the entire time?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you know about the whole situation with Bonnie and everything?
What I read in the paper.
Okay.
That's it.
And I guess you read in the paper that you were also listed as a runaway also?
And I was planning on coming home on my birthday. That was the plan, so I didn't have to go back to Bonnie's house.
Coming home, where were you gonna go?
Miss Shuffle's house.
You were gonna go to Shuffle's house on that day?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this friend's house in East Alton?
No.
No?
No.
Did they come and pick you up? You had quite a bit of bags. I don't think you were kind of walking down the road somewhere.
Yeah.
You called them to pick you up?
Well, me and Miss Shuffle talked to him. I talked to him and I told him to come pick me up. And then I took my cell phone and, I texted Sammy and told her. I didn't tell her I was leaving though, because she's my best friend.
What'd you tell Sammy?
I told her that this was before I decided to run away. I told her that Bonnie was coming to pick me up the next day and I was scared. So, and Sam didn't get it until the next morning, I don't think, because she turns her phone off.
You sent it to her in the evening time?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell her you were going to run away?
No.
And that you were going to be okay?
No.
Sammy seemed awfully confident that you were okay. Miss Sheffel seemed awfully confident that you were okay.
Well, I didn't tell them I was going to run away, but they knew nothing was going to happen to me. Sammy, she understands what was going on. She's been my friend for 8 years, and she hates Bonnie.
So Miss Sheffel helped you out with this new location?
I told her I didn't tell her where I was going, and she doesn't know where they live, but she knew who they were, but I don't want to get them in trouble.
Okay.
Heather's story doesn't line up with Roger's. While Roger claims he is the one who offered her a place to stay, Heather paints a different picture. Two versions of the same story now stand in a stark contrast. But who lies? Who tells the truth? Or do both hide something far darker?
Do you think you're in any trouble?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Well, on that note here, like I told you from the very beginning, is you had a lot of people concerned about you. And the other thing, the main reason why I wanted to talk to you today is because of your stepmom. I know you guys haven't got along in the past, but your actions here with her being missing have made things a lot harder on our investigation. You understand that? Because we don't know, first of all, we don't know what happened to you. We don't know what happened to Bonnie. All we know is somebody had kidnapped you, and then they went and told her that, hey, I know where your daughter is, come with me, and then they did something to her.
I haven't talked to my mom.
I mean, do you understand why we would be concerned? Because we didn't have any answers.
Yeah.
We didn't know. And I'm sure, hindsight's always 20/20. You know what that means?
Yeah.
You always know what something is after what maybe it looks better in the end whenever you get there. But all you had to do was, if maybe whenever Bonnie was missing, say, hey, I'm right here. I don't know where she is. Hey, do you mind if I stay with Miss Shuffle? And then be like, oh, okay. Do you understand that's what would have happened?
Yeah, but I don't know.
You put a lot of people through a lot of work and a lot of
I know.
I
don't know where Bonnie's at.
Okay. What do you know about Bonnie here? Okay.
She's mean.
Okay.
Skipped my graduation.
What do you think happened to her?
I don't know. I thought that maybe she hid to draw me out, and then she'll come out now that she knows that I'm home.
That's what you thought? Why would you think that?
Because sometimes that's just the way Bonnie is, and she can be mean and I don't know. She's just mean.
Okay. Now, what do you know about how she disappeared? I know you've been watching the news and reading the newspapers.
All I know is she was at work, and usually she comes straight home from work.
What kind of car does she drive to work?
An Avalanche truck.
Okay.
Her red one.
And she works where?
At Unis Smith.
Okay. And what does she normally do on a daily basis when she has to work? She goes to work?
She gets up and she goes to work. She works on the Alzheimer's unit, and she gets her patients, and sometimes she goes to lunch or not, and then she comes home and starts yelling at me and Aaron because we didn't do our chores. That's it.
What time does she usually come home? She works the same hours every day?
Yeah, from 6 to 2, and usually she's home between 2:30 and 3 if she doesn't have a work meeting.
Okay. And those work meetings are when usually?
Their house was filled with tension and fear and was ruled by Bonnie's harsh and controlling words. The pressure built until escape felt like the only option for Heather. As Heather approaches 18, Roger's disturbing plans to control her future begin to surface.
Was there any talk about when she turned 18? Did you guys talk about that early on?
Oh, yeah.
We only got to do this for a little, we got a window of time.
Yeah, basically 17 days, that's all it's got, just 17 days. When you turn 18, everything's cool and you can go wherever you want.
So it was down to, at that point, whatever date it was 17 days before her 18th birthday.
Yes.
Okay. So you're trying to just milk this along until she's a full-blown adult and she can do whatever she wants.
Yes.
Okay. So then when you pick her up from Sheffels, that would have been the second time you would have went by Bonnie's house, and you did that because you just ended up wandering by the house because you're on the way out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's it. Sometime after midnight.
Probably, I don't know, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. About.
Did you already know that was Bonnie's house, or did Heather just point out the window and says that's Bonnie's house as you go by? Did you even remember, or why do you remember that?
Well, I just remember where she lived.
From dropping Heather off there.
Yeah.
A month earlier.
It wasn't a month. It was
at the graduation party, whatever. I guess that would have been the first of June.
Yeah.
First week of June.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you just I don't know what street Shuffle lives on. Do you remember?
I can find it.
I know what street. Yeah, I could too, but I don't think I think I can. I've actually never been there. And that's the same with Bonnie's. You don't know what street that is, but you can get there.
Right.
And you didn't drive by there on purpose that day. You just happened to be leaving Sheffels and you ended up on that road on the way out. So you just zipped on by and there was no conversation. You didn't have any contact with Bonnie or that family I guess you wouldn't at that time of day anyway, right? So she already had all her stuff, right? She'd been living with Shuffle.
Yeah, most of her things was at Miss Shuffle's. She just brought a few things, just a few things, a little bag.
When you took her the first time?
Yeah.
So how did you get the rest of the stuff from Shuffle's?
We didn't.
Oh, you never did? Okay. So most of Heather's belongings were at Christine Shuffle's house?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you get her, you go back to your house. How long did you stay there before, at some point in time you decided to go to the in-laws? Or I know she basically stayed with you for a while, right? Like we had a conversation about her picking beans and, picking stuff out of the garden, and which is maybe one of the first clues that you got that maybe she wasn't as abused as what she suggested, because your wife suggested, hey, why don't you get out here and help pick some beans, and she got a little angry about it?
Well, she didn't get angry. It wasn't like confrontation. It was just like, you're just like Bonnie. one of them kind of things.
Right. And you're thinking, just like Bonnie, all we wanted you to do is pick beans.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, man, it's like if this is what you call abuse, then
Right.
God, maybe we.
Right. Maybe we should have been so compassionate. Maybe I don't know. And did you tell her on that day, then, which would have been July 3rd? Did you tell her that day, hey, by the way, Bonnie's missing?
Yes.
And when did you tell her that?
Well, it would have been in the morning on our drive.
After you picked her up at McDonald's, just on the way back.
Yes.
How do you break something like that? Just, hey, saw it on the news, or what'd you tell her?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like that.
Okay. And how'd she take that?
She didn't show any emotions or didn't get frantic or anything. She was just kind of like, or that's weird, or I don't know, something to that nature.
Roger and Nathan leave Heather alone in a library, where she's later found dead after days of being missing, insisting it was all part of their carefully laid plan. And yet, despite the chaos, Heather seems to have picked up some remarkable insights about Bonnie as a person.
You don't know what would have happened to Bonnie?
No.
Do you think she's hurt?
I thought maybe she might have. I don't know.
How does she handle herself?
She's mean. She can beat people up in a fight.
Even guys?
Yeah. She threw my dad in a bathtub.
Which one? Doug?
Yeah. We lived on Pine Street and he left her at a bar and we had a glass clawfoot bathtub and she threw him in the bathtub and broke the bathtub.
Did it hurt him?
Yeah, she got in trouble though because she knocked a police officer off his feet.
Oh.
And then my dad packed me and Aaron up and we went to Grandma and Grandpa's.
Okay.
She's mean.
Would you want to see her again?
No, not really.
Heather says it with a mix of anger and relief that she never wants to see Bonnie again. Little does she know, she never will. And now, the detective turns the focus back to Roger's residence, ready to confront him with the evidence that refuses to stay buried.
So that's pretty much the story. And not to beat a dead horse, but just to cover a couple of things we covered, that we're out there with dogs now, and I told you that they seem to have hit on a few things in your garage. Shovels, dirt type, I don't know if it's hard rake or leaf rake or some equipment in the garage. Any idea why they would be hitting on?
No idea.
Okay. And hit on some areas back in the woods off your property that we're going to be doing some excavation work, I guess. No idea why dogs would hit on. Did you bury anything other than Bonnie Woodward? Did you bury anything out there? Maybe a dog or something that, I don't know. Anything dead recently that is back there that you know of?
Not recently.
How long ago? I mean, you got anything? For the record, these dogs are trained to hit on human dead odor, gases that come off of dead people. They're not supposed to hit on any other dead creature, but like I told you before, they're dogs. So if there's anything else, I don't know if you got anything else buried out there, but and we covered before, she has not been on your property. She's not been in your garage. She's not been in your kitchen, your house, any of your cars, and vice versa. You ain't been in her car, and you ain't been in her house.
That's right.
And I think we've covered that pretty well. You have had no contact with Bonnie or her car, and she's had no contact with you or your car.
That's correct.
Okay. And never had reason to. But Heather, she's never invited Bonnie out. Like, for instance, has Heather been at your house? Maybe you're at work doing your thing, and is there any chance that Heather would have? Probably not, because of the missing situation. There's no chance Heather or somebody else could have had Bonnie out at that house and you wouldn't have known about it?
I wouldn't expect, no.
Due to the circumstances, that would be very odd, I guess.
Right.
And certainly Nathan wouldn't. And I asked you before, do you think Nathan holds any grudge or is in any way angry at Bonnie Woodward over what Heather told him about that alleged abuse?
I don't think so.
Okay. Has he ever expressed to you that any kind of anger towards her? Like, man, she screwed Heather up by beating on her or mentally abusing her? Has he been in any kind of, if what I'm suggesting, if he really cared for Heather, I would see how maybe he might be more than annoyed at Bonnie based on Heather's stories. Has he told you anything that would lead you to believe that was his feelings? Like, do you think doesn't have particular feelings for Heather?
No, he does not. No.
Even from talking to Heather, I'm not so sure that she still doesn't have feelings for Nathan.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But that you don't think that was ever really true for Nathan?
No.
Okay. Have you ever buried anything on your property? Like
A dog. A couple of dogs and a cat.
Okay, where would those be?
Oh gosh, I could show you. You know what I'm saying?
This is a bad drawing, but if this is your 40 and this is your long driveway and house, that's probably not in the right spot. But
okay, let's see. The creek runs something like this. There's a trail up a big tall hill. Up on the top of that hill, about there, I buried a dog.
okay,
And then over here, I buried a dog somewhere over here.
this is on your property.
Yes, down in that valley, I buried a cat down there years ago. I mean, like I said, that's a long time ago.
Okay. All right. So.
Roger denies any involvement on Nathan's part, shifting the weight of guilt away from his son. But that leaves only one name, his own. The detective is ready to slam down the final piece of evidence, the one that speaks his name loud and clear.
Those cadaver dogs would be hitting on anything human dead out there on that property that you know of, unless some Indians died there back in the 1800s. You wouldn't know about anybody dead on that property.
Right.
Okay. And you've denied repetitively any kind of association with Bonnie or her car, your car, whatever. Any chance your fingerprints would be on Bonnie's car, on the driver's door, like all over it?
No way, no.
No chance.
No.
Okay. Any chance your DNA would be all over that driver's door?
No way.
And how do we explain it if it is?
Then I've been framed. I mean, no, there's no way that my fingerprints are on that car door or my DNA is on that car door. There just is no way.
Okay. Well, are you good with us taking a buccal swab of your DNA to compare to that DNA that's on that door?
You sure can, yes.
Okay. We will do that, and then we will take you across the hall. For the record, your obstructing justice charge is based on that very thing, that your prints are on that door, driver's door. So anyway, we'll take a DNA swab and try to clear up the mystery with that. There is male DNA on that door, and multiple fingerprints confirmed by our crime lab is yours. So anyway, I'll get a guy in here to take a buccal swab. It'll take just a second, and then we'll take you across the hall. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
What's going on, man?
I just wanted to report a murder that I did a long time ago.
Okay, a long time ago?
Yeah,
Or today?
a long time ago.
What is that?
I buried him in his house.
This is a long time ago, is what he's saying.
I'm just tired of covering it up already.
Try to cover it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm tired of living with my wife, sir.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
On May 1st, 2023, New Mexico police received a phone call from a gas station in Roswell from Tony Peralta, who confessed to killing a person.
Sir, tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I killed somebody.
You killed somebody? What's your name, sir?
Tony Peralta.
In response to this call, detectives went to meet the caller behind this voice. His shocking confession was just the beginning of unraveling the truth behind the disappearance of an elderly man, a case that had faded into the shadows of dusty case records. Although Tony's straightforward confession might seem a bit bizarre, what drove him to confess was the guilt he was carrying.
I just wanted to report a murder that I did a long time ago.
Okay, a long time ago?
Yeah.
Detectives at this point didn't know what Tony meant by long time ago, but as he was arrested and taken into custody for questioning, the details of this case gets even more shocking.
Would you show me where it's at?
What?
If I took you, would you be willing to show me where it's at?
Do I have to get it right now?
Well, that way we know where the house
I'll
is.
take you.
Okay, I'll let you finish your thing.
Let's go.
Okay. You don't want to finish it? You're good there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right, just hang on, okay? Relax. No. Just say name call 911.
I did.
Little did anyone know that the confession of this caller would lead to the discovery of a horrifying incident that was concealed long back and leave the community shocked.
Well, it's off your shoulders now, man.
In the next few minutes, you will witness unbridled grief as it overtakes a man's years-old guilt, unraveling the secrets he had buried deep until there was no escape. However, this was just the beginning. What unfolded next was a series of events that finally unraveled the answers to many lingering questions.
Called us, but it's kind of mixed messages. They had handcuffs in here.
I killed somebody, dude, and I buried him.
Okay. Right here, are you making? Do you feel like you're able to leave if you wanted, or do you want to be here?
Hell yeah! I confessed to a murder.
Okay. How much are you ready to drink today?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah. When you find his body, dude, it'll make you feel better. It's at his house.
That'll make you feel better?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to live with this shame anymore.
Okay, I understand that. All right, well,
it's
my understanding you're willing to
Jesus.
Yeah. It's my understanding you're willing to take us to the house.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Did it happen at the house?
It did.
It did?
I was on meth really bad.
Okay.
And I killed him because he didn't give me no money. And I buried him in his house.
In his house. Do you remember his name?
His name was Bill.
His name was Bill.
Everybody talks about it all the time.
Okay. How long ago?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Too long. Too long, boss. Don't ever say. Don't kill nobody that you don't have to.
Detectives created the space Tony needed to unburden himself and release the weight of his guilt. However, their priority was to extract every possible detail from Tony to piece together the full story of what had transpired. So, the first thing that was decided was to ask him if he wanted to take them to the house where he buried some man named Bill, which he agreed on.
Alright, so we're gonna go get in the car, we'll drive you to it, you show me.
I'm hot though. Will he turn on the air conditioner? It's hot as fuck.
It's so hot in here. We're gonna go downstairs, we're gonna get in the car, and I'm gonna turn that AC up.
Alright,
I hate it up here.
Alright, we're gonna go down to the right and down the stairs again, okay?
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Can you hop on mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move some things. Back to that door?
Okay.
Go ahead. After you. We're gonna go on this side, okay? I'm not cool enough. Go have a seat. Alright. Wherever.
It's right here. Next house.
This white one?
This white one here?
Yeah. I buried him in that slight place right here. I killed their dad.
That
Here, hey, you see this side little door right here?
Uh-huh.
I buried him right there.
Okay.
Like in the little building?
Yes, sir.
Hang on.
Although Tony took a big step by confessing, this was only the beginning. What followed next was quite a twist in the story that detectives didn't see coming.
Tony.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, brother. We need some more details.
Alright, what do you want?
To be able to prove it.
Okay.
So, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
What year do you think this was?
I don't remember.
How old do you think you were?
I don't remember.
What does the victim look like? Or what
I
did the
don't
victim
remember.
look like? What do you mean you don't remember?
I don't remember. I just know that I killed him.
Why do you know that?
Because I know that I killed him and I kept it a secret.
Okay. Why did you keep it a secret?
Because I didn't give a
How long have you been keeping it a secret for?
a long time.
Like how long?
Like 7 years maybe.
Yeah. You see how all your answers are I don't know? That's what we're having a hard time with.
Well, I said I did it.
Yeah. But we need a lot more detail than that in order to get the full picture of it, right? And if this person's dead in here and has been dead for a long time, they got a family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the family's probably missing them.
Okay.
They probably deserve answers on what happened, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to give them that?
I was high and I didn't give a fuck.
Okay. What were you high on?
Meth.
Meth? Smoke it or shoot?
I shot it.
Shot it? How much did you use a day?
A lot.
A lot. Are you still using?
No, sir.
No.
That's
Yeah.
probably why I'm confessing.
So what was the reason that you killed him?
I don't have a reason.
You didn't have a reason? So were you guys arguing?
No, I just felt stupid one day, I guess.
You just felt dumb? What was he doing when you killed him?
Being a good man.
Was he sitting, sleeping, standing, reading, watching TV?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? But you killed him in a tub?
No,
That's what you said earlier.
I didn't say that earlier.
What did you say?
I said I killed him, that was it.
No, you said in the bathroom in a tub. How'd you kill him?
I didn't say that.
How'd you kill him?
I said I killed him, that was it.
No, you didn't. You told me how earlier.
Well, he's right there.
Well, we're gotta go see if he's in there.
Okay.
But how'd you kill him?
I killed him.
How? Did you shoot him?
No,
Did you hit him with a bat?
I killed him.
How'd you kill him?
I don't remember.
Did you stab him?
I don't remember.
You did earlier.
I did earlier.
You're just repeating the things that I'm saying now. You see how I don't believe you? If I just came to you and I just said it all the time, I don't know, I don't remember, would you believe anything I'm saying? You said, hey sir, what's the law on this? And said, I don't know. You think you trust me? That's why I'm having a hard time trusting you.
I know, I said I killed the person that was in the house.
Yeah? And we're gonna go try and find him.
Okay.
But I don't have the details on where he's at.
I told you where he was at.
Where's he at inside the house?
I don't know.
Huh?
What's crucial to understand here is the stark difference between contemplating a confession for years and finally confronting it. Tony was now facing the very truth he'd feared for so long. His repeated claim of, I don't remember, wasn't a lie, but rather a defense mechanism. A desperate attempt to bury the memory of the crime he committed years ago. Yet, with the detective's support, the walls began to crumble, and he slowly started to open up and gave the exact location of where he buried this man.
Where did you bury him?
On the side house right there.
Okay. What part?
The part right there.
Yeah, but what part of that room?
The left side.
The left side?
Yeah, if you dig in, if you pull the board up and dig them up.
Okay. On the left side of the building?
Yeah.
So that's towards the courthouse?
Yes.
While detectives finally uncovered the location where Tony had buried his victim, they could also now get the information of the owner of the house. The man Tony Peralta had killed was 69-year-old William Blodgett, but it was important to confirm if Tony's claim was even true. So, quite literally, they started digging for the truth. Officers then dug in the floorboards and brought out the remains of William's body. Along with the remains of the deceased, they also found a pair of shoes and what was left of his clothes.
Is that like the black tarp they put down to keep weeds from growing through?
Oh, looks like a shoe. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's something else, isn't it?
Is that a shoe?
I think it is.
I think it's a shoe too.
But they're both in
Boot. And it's starting to pour out.
Is there bones in it? Do you want Tizzy to come help you?
That's weird though.
Mm-hmm.
suppose.
Or do you want to back up? Sir? Let's pull this out.
Let's
You're up.
Let's
See
see
if you
what
can get it with the shovel. Oh no, that's a shoe.
Yep, you can see. I think it is. There's the I think it's the boot, and that's the bottom sole of it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because you can see they come right up right there. So we need to get that out, and that'll kind of determine a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, because that's the sole of it.
Yeah, that would go right there.
Grab it and pull and see if a foot falls out.
Okay.
This is getting very scientific.
It's 7 years or more, I'm not going to lose anything.
Oh, check that. Yep.
After it was confirmed that Tony was actually telling the truth this whole time, he was brought in for a final interrogation. It was here that his emotions overtook him, as it was brought to light his motivation for killing William.
Tell me what happened, man.
I killed somebody a long time ago.
Okay. Why? What happened?
I don't know, sir.
I've been told his name is Bill, but it's really William, right?
I don't know.
You were living with him at the time? Okay. Do you remember what happened? Why?
I just remember I just needed to confess. That was it.
Okay. How did you do it? Do you not remember, or you just don't want to say it?
I just don't want to talk anymore.
Well, it's off your shoulders now, man. You're welcome. You're welcome, no problem.
It was evident that Tony was still overwhelmed by his guilt, struggling to share the full story with detectives. Yet the detective stayed steadfast and patient, allowing Tony the space to reveal all the critical details of the crime on his own.
So, my own curiosity is, I want to know. And, I can read the reports from back then, and that's why I said the wallet thing, because that's what we were told. I know he was an older guy, and I know that you were living with him, right? You guys were roommates. He owned the place, right?
I don't know.
But he allowed you to stay there, like you were kind of renting. Did you pay him money to live there, or?
I don't remember.
He just, okay, but you guys were living together. All right. So, what happened, man?
I don't know.
Do I look familiar to you?
Uh-uh.
No? You look real familiar to me. I feel like we've talked before. Maybe I've just seen you around town. Did you use a gun?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, how about this one? Why don't you tell me why you decided to come forward?
Because my heart hurts.
Okay. It's been eating at you for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. I know this is probably a big hard decision you had to make. You've been thinking about it for a while?
Every day.
Yeah, I've never been in that position, but I can imagine how hard that decision was to step up and
At least nobody
Don't tell
doesn't have to
someone.
worry anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine his family. He was an older guy, but his family never knew what happened, and that's kind of That's kind of where I stand, because I want to be able to tell them, you know, what happened. His son.
Tell them that he was a good man and I should have did what I did. You know?
Okay. Yeah, it was his son is the one that reported it to us back then about not being able to get a hold of his dad.
Why didn't anybody say anything after that? Why didn't everybody just let it slide?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay. The cops talked to you back then, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It might seem bizarre to see a man casually munching on snacks while discussing a murder he committed, but stress eating is a very common coping mechanism in high-pressure situations. For Tony, unburdening himself to the law was a weight he had avoided for years. With support and compassion from the detectives, Tony did manage to open up eventually.
Give me little details, Tony. What happened?
Do I have to speak or what?
No, you don't have to, man. I'm just talking to you. You don't have to tell me anything. You don't. You don't. I just want to know the story. I'm sure the family wants to know the story. You know, things...
He was always good to me, and I took his life for no reason. And I don't have an excuse.
What did you
A lot of people have an excuse. I don't have one.
What did you use to kill him?
I don't remember.
Do you remember if it was some type of weapon or your hands?
I don't remember. All I know is that I buried him and I shouldn't have.
One of the officers told me that you had said it was some type of sharp object. Maybe like a knife or a screwdriver or something.
I don't remember.
Okay. And again, you don't have to talk to me, but please don't lie, because there's no reason to lie anymore, right?
I killed him with a screwdriver.
Okay. And is that screwdriver around anywhere?
No.
Okay. Because I know it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You got family in town here?
Yeah. That's why I wanted to confess, for they don't, nothing happens to them. It was my fault for my sin, Nobody else should suffer except this.
Your parents still around?
No.
Okay.
Through Tony's confession and a parallel investigation, it was revealed that William Blodgett had been missing since December 23, 2008. His son, Greg Blodgett, had filed a missing person report on January 3, 2009, 10 days after William's disappearance. During the initial investigation, law enforcement uncovered that William had a tenant with whom he had reportedly argued and had even issued an eviction notice against. Turns out this tenant was 38-year-old Tony Peralta, who was also interrogated about William's disappearance when the case was active. However, with no concrete evidence linking him to the crime, the case went cold, and Tony was eventually removed from the suspect list. The truth remained buried for 15 years until Tony called 911 and confessed. His admission not only solved the long-standing cold case, but also revealed chilling details about the crime. Tony confessed that he was under the influence of hard drugs when he killed William with a screwdriver and buried him in his own house. As a consequence of his confession, he was charged with first-degree murder after admitting to killing his landlord, William Blodgett, back in 2008. Peralta was sentenced to 15 years in prison for second-degree murder in 2023.
Machine one piece, machine pieces. Mm-hmm.
This is 62-year-old Raymond Moody, casually describing the condition of 17-year-old Brittany Drexel's body after he assaulted and killed her. Brittany was just a teenager on vacation in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, when everything took a dark turn the moment she encountered Moody. These were her final moments before the gruesome murder that left no trace, no evidence, and not even a single suspect. Then, without warning, Moody stepped out of the shadows with a bone-chilling confession that shattered the silence. What he shared was so dark and disturbing that no one was prepared to hear what really happened to Brittany Drexel.
Started to happen, or did something happen that sounds bad? Just Yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
Detectives are stunned by how Moody had managed to stay hidden for over a decade, and even more baffled by what finally drove him to come forward and confess to a crime buried in silence for 13 years. On April 22, 2009, 17-year-old Brittany Drexel traveled over 800 miles away from her home in Rochester to the popular South Carolina beach resort town of Myrtle Beach. Her mother didn't approve of the trip, so she quietly set out, keeping it a secret from her. But she was not alone. Two friends, Elena and Jennifer, joined her in this adventure. However, her adventurous journey was about to turn into a nightmare. 3 days after she reached Myrtle Beach on April 25, 2009, she went to Blue Water Resort to meet Peter Brock. Brittany left the Blue Water Resort around 8:45 p.m., but after 9:15 p.m., Brittany suddenly stopped texting her boyfriend, John Greco. She had disappeared. In June 2016, the FBI got a tip that a person named Timothy Deshaun Taylor had assaulted and shot Brittany to death. However, it turned out to be false information.
I may as well start with the obvious question. Did you kill Brittany Drexel?
No, sir. I did not kill Brittany Drexel.
Were you involved in the kidnapping of Brittany Drexel?
No, sir, I was not.
Were you with Brittany Drexel the night she disappeared in April of 2009?
No, sir.
In 2019, new forensic tools allowed investigators to reconstruct Brittany's movements. They traced her phone's ping pattern, and it aligned perfectly with Moody's SUV in the vehicle records. These vehicle records triggered detectives to resurrect this old, faded case. As a result, on May 4th, 2022, Moody was arrested on obstruction charges. The next day, on May 5th, 2022, Raymond Moody willingly came forward to give his confession. Detectives discovered human remains buried in the woods in Georgetown on May 11th, 2022. After a few days, on May 15th, 2022, DNA and dental records proved that it was Brittany's body. Moody was adamant that he would speak only to the police, refusing any involvement with the FBI. Respecting his demand, the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office arranged a private meeting for his confession that would finally unearth the truth buried for over a decade. The gravity of the case drew 5 detectives packed into the interrogation room, which is a rare sight, even for a high-profile murder. The weight of over a decade of unanswered questions hung heavy in the air, but none of them were prepared for the horror Raymond Moody was about to unleash that he sealed in silence for 13 years.
So you're good with that? Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, so Ray, what do you feel more comfortable with? Do you feel better just telling kind of the story, and then if there's a few things that we have a few questions on?
Yeah, you know, one thing before I tell the story, one thing that I realized last night, because I was laying there, of course I was laying there thinking about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember then, when I took you guys to where I buried the girl, which I believe in my heart, we finally did, after we all looked around, find exactly where I told you that I buried her. But over all these years, I guess memory got kind of, because of all that time.
Yeah.
Because when we first went there, I went to the wrong damn spot.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out.
Yep.
So, in regards to that, there's a lot of stuff that I remember like yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
A lot of stuff that I remember just like yesterday. So, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't, we went to Myrtle Beach because we used to go there all the time. I'm sure you guys knew that. We used to go there, good time out, and this game bar we used to kind of hang out at and have a good time. And you know, drinking, partying, and stuff like that. We enjoyed that very much, did that almost every weekend for a while. But anyway, and first to go down to the boulevard, hey, you're in Myrtle Beach, everybody does that. You just drive the strip. Just people watching and stuff, you know. So that's all we were doing. We were going down the strip and smoking pot. Who the hell is it, you know? You know how it is down there.
I work the boulevard, yeah.
Yeah. And Brittany was walking on the sidewalk, and the traffic's really slow. You know, it gets right. It's so congested. And she looked over, and I looked at her, and I was smoking pot. She started laughing. And then, I don't remember the entire conversation. Sit down long, but she said, "That smells pretty good." I said, "Yeah, that's some good pot. Would you like some?" She said, "Yeah." So we kind of chatted a little bit as I'm driving. Angel's sitting right there, but she didn't say a damn word, you know. I was thinking to myself, she probably don't care if I'm talking to her, you know. But just a little jealous sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's all harmless.
Yeah.
We're just having a good time. And anyway, I was surprised. She just hopped right in and said, "Hey, you want to party with us?" I said, "Yeah."
Moody began with his first statement, and it's nothing but a lie. From the beginning, he's trying to play a blame game by saying that it was Brittany's choice. He also claimed shamelessly that Brittany was the one who was attracted and hopped into the car readily. But anyone who knew Brittany could vouch that Brittany wasn't like that. Then why did she hop into Moody's car? The detective is about to uncover the truth behind this mystery.
She got in, and we got in, joined back there, and passed around, we're all talking, going down the boulevard. And I don't remember the entire conversation, but I was like, "You want to hang out with us for a while tonight? And then go get some party and maybe get some coke and stuff." And she's like, "Oh, yeah." Then she started telling us about being from New York, and she was down with some friends and boyfriend and stuff like that. And, of course, along during this journey, because we started heading back towards Georgetown, she wasn't tripping a bit. I wasn't thinking of doing anything wrong. We were just having a good time, smoking some pot and stuff, you know. But her phone occasionally would ring. I never said a word to her about, "You can't answer your phone," or whatever. That was a decision she made, I guess, because I'm just guessing, because maybe she didn't want him to run her little party or something, you know. I don't know. So anyway, we drove all the way straight back into Georgetown, and the whole time we're smoking pot and laughing, joking, small talk, and all that kind of stuff. And we got back down to the river, which is where we used to go camping sometimes. I have a tent set up there sometimes for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever went down there. We didn't have to worry about anything like that. We'd camp out and have a fire, smoke some pot, you know, just hang out and stuff like that. But anyway, we went down there and parked and walked up to the tent and sat around talking and stuff like that and smoking pot. And then I said, "Well, we'd like to get some coke or something like that. We can get that." And it's back at the apartment, but I didn't have the damn apartment keys because her son had the truck, and on the truck keys was the keys to the apartment.
Okay.
So I just volunteered to go get the keys from her son. And then shortly after that, that's when I made a bad decision, being bad. So I did feel ashamed about it, but anyway, Angel left. And while she was gone, I changed the whole subject of what was going on. And making her all that. And I thought straying with her. And I was in a panic. I didn't know what to do.
Moody finally opens Pandora's box, and what spills out is a tangled mess, a thread of truth buried beneath layers of carefully crafted lies. He casually claims that Brittany willingly got into his car, but what he hides is far more sinister. It was his longtime girlfriend, Angela Voss, who lured Brittany into the trap. As the investigation deepens, detectives will uncover the disturbing extent of Angela's involvement in this case. But Moody plays it smart. He's about to describe how he assaulted Brittany, all while skillfully sidestepping any mention of his girlfriend's role in the crime.
I put her in the back of the truck. Now I went and got her, put her in the back of the truck, started heading back that direction, and I'm thinking, where am I going to go? I turned down Penwell Road. I wasn't thinking anything about Harmony. But that's where I went. I just turned down Harmony, and you saw that place where you could turn in with the gate. And rode back in there. Felt like I was off the road a good little ways. And I dug a hole. And I buried her. And I went back to the apartment. Yeah. You know. And then she's still sleeping. She never knew a damn thing. Yeah. You know. And then sometime, I don't know what time it was after that, woke her up or she woke up. And I decided maybe I just didn't want to be there. So let's go ride the motorcycle. So we went to, ended up riding around in the Surfside area. I remember that. I got a damn ticket, right?
Yep, we did. Don't speed.
What's that?
Don't speed. Ray yelled at me for speeding on the way over here. Sorry. He's a terrible driver. Sorry, Sheriff.
Yeah, but a lot of it, it's just because it's been so long, a lot of it I remember like it was like yesterday. Some of it I was just kind of coming back to me a little bit, you know, a little vague on some of it. But I mean, I did it. That's what I did.
So you said yesterday you put her stuff in the Salvation Army box.
Yeah.
Do you know which box that was or what was that? Is the one up there by that gas station next to?
No. At the actual Salvation Army itself.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have two big white containers at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one here in Georgetown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her clothes, but what about her wallet?
All that stuff.
All the stuff in the Salvation?
Yeah, but I took all the contents of the wallet, all our identification, all that stuff out.
What did you do with that?
I burned it.
Burned it?
Yeah.
And the phone? You said yesterday, what did you do with the phone?
I threw it in the
Do you agree with the details about like her identification and everything like that?
No.
I don't remember what kind of cards they were or anything like that.
No.
Specific stuff in her purse, like a lot of this stuff. What we're trying to do, Ray, is like a lot of the stuff we say. We actually believe it. We're trying to take your information, and we know all this factual stuff, like phone pings and license plate readers and stuff like that. And we're just trying to sync it, and a lot of it does sync, but we do have some gaps. So we just want to make sure that we're just trying to collect all the information. It makes you more credible. So say you said, I saw this in her purse. I'm like, then he had a purse. Like
she had a very nice purse and she had a very nice wallet.
Yeah.
For some damn reason, I don't know why, you know, sometimes people keep like common souvenirs or something like that. I did keep some kind of identification card she had. It wasn't a picture, I just had her name on it. And I don't know why I hung on to it for a while. But I did hang on to it for a while. And then I started, I might have kept a couple more. But I remember I didn't burn them all, I cut them up, a couple of them, little bitty pieces.
Moody's statement comes with multiple gaps, and the detectives are interested in filling those gaps. Only then can they paint the true story. For instance, Moody claims to have destroyed all the cards that he found in Brittany's purse, but the detectives weren't satisfied with what they'd heard. They already have a tip that Angela wasn't just a bystander, but till now, Moody shielded her well. Will he keep shielding her until the very end?
So you don't have anything, there's nothing left that you have that was just, What about her necklace? Do you remember her having a necklace?
No, I don't remember that.
Can you describe her phone at all?
I think it was
pretty
a
unique.
little flip phone.
Remember what color it was?
Black, I think.
Black phone? Okay.
about the purse? Do you remember anything? You said it was a nice purse. What?
It was just a real nice purse, like Gucci or something, nice like that.
Do you remember any, like you said, the color, the material, or anything like that that you can recall? We get it, especially in your
it was like a tan color, I think.
Do you remember how her phone worked? Did you get to manipulate it at all? It's kind of unique. Did you open it at all?
I don't remember that much about it. I just remember throwing the phone in the river.
So again, trying to match things up to science just to prove that you're credible. How long would you say you were down in the vicinity of the landing? With a couple hours?
The whole thing was a good while. Yeah. I don't remember exactly how long it was. I wasn't looking at my watch, and then we're high, so I wasn't tripping on. I wasn't pressed for time or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I really don't remember the time. I remember what I did.
Is there? And I know it's super uncomfortable, but for us, it's in fact fine. Can you describe the events that happened when Angel leaves? So Angel's obviously not involved. What led to that caused you to actually find Brittany? Can you talk us through that? Were you did she do something to you? What caused things to go wrong?
Nothing caused it but
my mind?
My mind, yeah. Just for some reason, I'm buried back to the kind of person I used to be, just for a period of time.
Yeah.
And I made her take her clothes off.
Yeah.
And she was pretty cooperative.
Yeah, she was.
But it was against her will.
It was, yeah. Did she say anything to you specifically or at that time?
She said she was she'd tell Angel on me.
So she was And then did you, and again, I'm just trying to get as much details, then did you start to have her, or did something happen to stop that?
To stop me from having sex?
Yes.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. And then afterwards, what happened? Did she say, like, what caused you, other than revert?
I panicked.
You panicked?
Yeah, I panicked because I started just playing the whole thing through my mind, what was going to happen. I was going back to prison again for the rest of my life.
She could identify you potentially.
Yeah. And I would want Angel to know that. I loved her.
Did she try and fight you off at all? Did she punch, kick, scream, bite, anything like that?
She did. It wasn't real violent because I didn't really do much with Shane. I was around her.
I mean, you were a big guy.
I don't know how big it was, but
Strong guy.
at the time, yeah.
Oral.
No, just
Did you, after you heard it, was there any period of time before you strangled her, or was it one after the other?
I just some minutes.
Do you remember what she was like at any point after you raped her before she died?
What was she like? Our conversation?
Yeah. What was she doing?
She was just scared. She was scared, I was scared.
Moody seems to remember in great detail how he assaulted Brittany. He's not at all repentant. He's recapitulating the incident in such a casual way that it can boil anyone's blood. He states that it was not his original plan to kill her. But what if she gives her statement? He will end up in jail again. This is why he panicked and strangled Brittany to death. But his brutality didn't stop there. Moody is about to describe in chilling detail how he discarded Brittany's lifeless body, moving her as if she were nothing more than an object and burying her mercilessly.
Yeah, shot to the tent. And put it in the back of the car. And like I said, when she was, this took place when she was gone, I picked her up and carried her down through here, right over in here, and put it by right underneath the tree. And that's where she stayed until I came back real early the next morning. Got her.
The next morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it on? You said this was the fence right here.
Yep.
So it was on the landing side of the fence.
Yeah.
And not on the end.
No. But it's a pretty big area.
Right.
So it wasn't like right on top of this. There was no reason for anybody to be coming through here. I wasn't really concerned about that because it's a real dark area, not lit up. I don't remember being lit up at all.
You said that it wrapped her in a blanket.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that blanket?
No, I don't know. I'm sure I don't know for a fact, but I would imagine that blanket's long gone.
So she wasn't buried in a blanket?
No.
Okay. Were you ever a smoker?
No.
Okay.
Just pot once in a while,
Okay.
like cigarette smoking, but I never did.
Okay.
Ray, do you remember if anyone else ever came down to the landing just while you were during that whole process of pulling
I
down?
don't remember anything like that, because that would have, I'm sure that would have, especially after that event, it seems like I remember that, but I don't remember anything like that.
He moved Brittany's body and left her under a tree overnight. He was pretty confident that no one was going to find her body because it was dark and a deserted trail. He came back the next day with a shovel to bury her. His actions reveal the depths of his monstrosity then and now.
Do you remember what you did with the shovel?
I really don't.
Did you put it back in
I don't know if I returned it or not.
I imagine he probably would have heard about it from him, right?
Right.
Would he be like, "Where's my shovel?"
He wouldn't. It would have been some period of time before he realized the shovel was gone, you know. Yeah. But I really don't remember what to do with the shovel.
Back to the boulevard for a second, Ray. Was this? You said you went to the boulevard often. Was this common, like picking up a girl and maybe asking them to party? Is this stuff you did before, or is this the first time?
Off the boulevard is the first time that I ever did that.
Did you do it at other places, like where you and Angel would be? There's nothing wrong with if you picked up a girl and there's consensual.
We had done that before, so we had a relatively open type relationship. We had a very trusting relationship. Yeah. There was a time or two where like we picked up somebody, not going there to pick them up, it just
you saw somebody, you drive by, yeah.
Well, no, like if say for instance we were in the bar, meet somebody.
Okay.
And like if we say for instance we had a hotel or something over at the beach, I might go back to the hotel with us. And that'll happen a couple of times.
Yeah.
We didn't really pursue that. But I mean, it did happen a couple of times.
You said you're on Ocean Boulevard. You guys were driving before you saw Brittany. Do you remember were you just driving one direction, both directions? Were you turning around at any point?
I don't remember any of that. Okay. All I remember is from more or less the point when we picked her up and we were going north. But in the past, I imagine there's times where sometimes you go to the strip or something. You might drive the time or two or whatever, so that would be unusual. But I don't remember that. Yeah. But it wasn't like I was out looking for something. It just happened.
You said you were on Ocean Boulevard, so I was trying to figure out, is it one of those, you're going up, going down, going up, going down, or if you were going to somewhere?
Where we're going anywhere, we're just driving. Yeah. Just like a lot of people go to the boulevard. Hey, it's been happening for years. When I was a teenage kid, I was on the boulevard too. At the pavilion. Right? You remember the pavilion, right?
Picking up a teen girl from the beach area was not new for Moody. This is what he called hunting. But what he carefully concealed here was that his girlfriend, Angela, was his partner in this hunting game and collecting ransoms. In 2011, when Moody first came under the radar, detectives suspected Angela might be involved or hold vital information. But what she revealed during interrogation only brought the investigation to a frustrating standstill.
What about that day Like, do you remember, were you like staying at the beach that day already? Did you come up that morning? Do you remember anything about that?
No.
Remember he came up in separate cars?
Sometimes, no.
We both came up in the...
I don't remember it, no, because her son had a truck.
The truck.
Yeah.
That makes
right.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Where was the bike?
He had the truck.
Where did you keep your motorcycle?
You know what? A lot of times I'd take the bike over with me. I'd pull it over on the trailer and take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I wouldn't ride the bike that night. And ride the bike till the next morning, you know.
You rode the bike the next day because you got the ticket.
I got pulled over to speed. I was probably doing like, I don't know, 35 in a 25 mile an hour zone or something like that.
Surfside. Do you remember where did you pick the bike up to come back to Surfside? Do you remember where the bike was kind of in relation to the travel back and forth?
Yeah, the bike was I had it on my trailer, and I had it parked at in that place.
Just hours after the crime, Moody was pulled over for speeding, a crucial moment that went unnoticed. Later, the detective said in an interview that they caught an offender for speeding who had scratches all over his face, and a teenage girl was missing at the same time. How could they have failed to connect these crucial links back then? If only they had looked closer at Moody, then Brittany's case might have been solved more than a decade earlier.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but was it sudden?
Just something just like snapped in my fucking mind, you know? Just like all of a sudden. Just like before I went to prison the first time around. You know, I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't really like in real control of it. I didn't have the character to not act on my impulses, you see? Yeah, I really didn't.
You said you're not a drug user, but you use
just like sometimes if somebody smokes a cigarette once in a blue moon, they're not necessarily a cigarette smoker, right?
Right. But there was nothing. You're not a drinker either, so you weren't drinking that night, and then.
I think I couldn't swear to it. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
So because generally I didn't much drinking and driving, you know.
Yep.
But you know, there was times where like we'd go to the beach, go partying at like time out or something. Doing some drinking, you know.
Yeah.
There was times where I knew that we drank too much, and like you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We like stay there somewhere, you know.
Yep.
That's nice.
Just to go back to what you said about the goodwill, do you remember when in the whole sequence of events you Salvation? That's right.
You trying to trip me up, man?
I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm just trying to put it straight in my mind.
No,
when in the sequence of events that took place, when did you go there?
I couldn't say exactly when that happened, but it was within the next few days or within a week or something like that. I had her stuff put aside in some bags, so it's kind of outside out of mind.
Where did you keep it?
I think I kept it in the back of the truck, just like it was trash or something, you know.
Were they like plastic grocery bags or
like Walmart bags?
Yeah.
You know, I used Walmart bags to put trash and shit in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to take a ride and see what we're not be okay?
Yeah.
You guys want to step out for a second and then come back here and okay.
And that's how Moody wraps up his interrogation. He simply took advantage of an innocent girl, murdered her brutally, buried her in a deserted area, and got rid of all the possible shreds of evidence. He knew exactly what he did, yet he chose to be silent and enjoyed his freedom. It was only after the detectives reopened the cold case again and began interrogating Angela that Moody decided to resurface and took accountability for his past actions. Later, on May 11, 2022, the detectives followed the trail and found human remains buried 4 feet under the ground in a wooded area outside Georgetown. On May 15th, DNA and dental records were matched, and the human remains were identified as Brittany Drexel. On May 16, 2022, Raymond Moody was arrested and charged with murder, kidnapping, and first-degree criminal misconduct. On October 19th, Moody pleaded guilty to kidnapping, assault, and murdering Brittany Drexel in a Georgetown court and admitted his actions as monstrous.
And I was a monster. And I took Brittany Drexel's life.
Moody was sentenced to life in prison. He received additional consecutive terms for kidnapping and criminal conduct. In March 2024, a federal grand jury indicted Angela Vaz on 3 counts of making false statements to federal investigators regarding the events surrounding Brittany Drexel's case, and on February 13, 2025, she was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison.
The baby was actually set on fire. Oh my God.
Behind this disturbing murder of a newborn, a cold case which remained buried for 27 years, lies only one person with the answers: 52-year-old Carrie Mazuka. But little do the detectives know that they are about to confront an extremely heartless woman, desperately holding on to the last remaining strands of her lies.
Why baby?
I didn't, baby.
Who did?
I don't know who did.
The doctor who did the autopsy says your version's bull.
Beneath the calm denial of this mother of 2 lies a story soaked in cruelty, so disturbing that even seasoned detectives would be left speechless. The tragedy started on the morning of September 7, 1997, when 2 city workers in Albany, New York, were performing routine maintenance in Washington Park. Near the base of the Moses statue, they discovered a blue pillowcase that appeared to be partially burned, but what they found inside would leave them stunned. It was the body of a lifeless baby boy, later named Moses. However, at the time, there were no leads or witnesses, and unfortunately, the identity of the parents remained unknown. However, nearly 23 years later, in 2020, the Albany Police Department, along with the Cold Case Analysis Center at the College of St. Rose, used modern forensic technology to reanalyze the evidence from the case. After 2 years of analysis, in 2022, the lab Othram Inc. successfully managed to create a full DNA profile from preserved evidence. That profile was submitted to the FBI's forensic genealogy team, which matched it to a relative of the baby. It was through that lead that investigators identified Carrie S. Mazuka, who had been living just 5 blocks from the original crime scene. And what awaited was a shocking and roller coaster interrogation where a 27-year-old mystery finally began to crack open.
So the reason we need you to help us out here is we're looking into something that happened quite a few years ago, okay? Back in 1997. So some remains were found in Washington Park, okay? And, you know, it's been a long time since it happened. We've been kind of working on it here and there. And we've been deploying a new investigative technique, right? Do you watch, like, any of the stuff on the news, like genealogy stuff?
No.
Okay, so what we do is we kind of go to some third-party companies like Ancestry.com, stuff like that, and try and build family trees, okay? So part of that is the remains, the DNA testing on the remains that we found are connected to your family, okay? Yeah, so it was younger, right? The remains, best we can tell. And we honestly don't know really what happened. It's just one of those things that they're trying to get us to figure out and use this new, it's crazy, right? So let me ask you this. Do you know of anyone in your family that you guys could never find or anything like that?
No, I mean, I'm not close with my family, but no.
Okay. Actually, I should have started. Part of this is we're building out that family tree, right?
Right.
Like, because certain things aren't filled. Like, are you on Ancestry.com? Right?
No.
Right. So that's the problem, right? So there's huge gaps. So it could show, like, Carrie Spielman, right? Her, great aunt gave DNA because she's an Ancestry buff. So now we have to go out and build that out, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Too. So let me ask you this. You got mom, dad, obviously. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a sister.
Okay, you have a sister. And what's your sister's name?
Wendy Morrison. Morrison.
Okay. And is she local?
She lives in Roxbury now.
Roxbury? Okay.
She was in Watertown, and I think she went to Roxbury, Watertown, and then back to Roxbury.
DNA genealogy might not directly point towards one person, but with enough DNA samples from the family members, it can be clarified who the mother is. The detectives here are keeping their cards close to their chest with Carrie to see her responses by asking her about her sister, Wendy. Carrie is unaware that right before the interrogation, detectives already conducted what's known as a trash pull, and they collected discarded items from outside Carrie's residence in Albany. And from that trash, a profile was created that clearly matched the baby, making it evident that Carrie is the mother. However, what they need is a clear story of what happened, and with every question, they are about to close in on the truth.
Actually, I didn't even ask you. So you said you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other kids?
No.
No? Okay. I know it's kind of a personal question, but it's one of the things I gotta ask. How many times have you been pregnant?
2.
2?
Yes.
Okay.
Very easy, very...
Easy pregnancies? No issues?
No.
What about after? Because, like, my wife, she got the postpartum. Did you ever get that?
No.
Really? Good for you. It was a tough time in the lawyer household.
Was it really?
Oh, my God.
No. I had a support system.
Okay.
And they were good.
Okay.
You're the father of your 2 children, Josh and Hannah.
Yes.
You guys still together, or?
No, we're divorced.
Divorced. Did you meet him in Roxbury or down here?
No, here.
Here?
We work together. Yeah.
At Tri-City?
Nope, at Cameron.
The Living Resources.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So when did you meet him? How long after you came here?
Well, I met him immediately because we worked together.
Yep.
But then we started dating probably 2 years later. He was actually engaged.
Oh, he was engaged.
He was engaged, and then they broke up, and then, yeah.
So part of this is we're going around, we're trying to collect DNA samples from people, all right, to try and match to the remains and that we're doing. Is that something you'd be able to help us out with?
Yeah, that's
Give
fine.
us a sample of DNA? Okay. Yeah, we can do that here in a moment.
So the remains were found where? Can you tell me that?
Yeah. So, are you familiar with this area at all?
Within Washington Park? I've seen it during Tulip Festival.
Okay. Have you ever been here?
Just looked, the only time I ever got to Washington Park was Tulip Festival.
Tulip Fest. Okay.
Yeah.
So where these flower beds are over here, right by this road, this is where the remains are found. But I mean, easy
I'm
enough.
sorry, I've got goosebumps.
Oh, it's horrible.
Ugh.
I mean, it's, every I'm sure whoever, whatever happened, there's an explanation, because generally there's an explanation to everything that happens because it happened, right? It's just a matter of figuring it out, and I think eventually we'll do that, but part of that is talking to people and figuring it out. We can do so much investigatively, like following DNA trails and stuff, and it is super cool, like the way this stuff works. Like, I swear to you, soon, we're not there yet. But
So how does that work with DNA? Can you pinpoint?
Yeah.
I don't watch any of those stupid.
No.
Sorry, I don't mean
No, it's
shows.
not.
They're
You're insulting my career.
No, they freak me out.
law enforcement's not a special thing. It's like someone figures out a cool thing to do to solve crimes.
Right.
Or, figure stuff out. Because not everything's a crime. But to figure stuff out. And then everyone gets on it. Like Golden State Killer. He was a serial killer who's run around California for years. Like numerous victims.
Yep.
And then they implored this technology that we're kind of using now. And they were able to link him to all these crimes from like 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
game changer.
crazy.
It's actually a huge help, Like, it generally does help us do what we got to do. So the way it works is, we go around, we obtain DNA samples from a bunch of different people, and then we end up zeroing in and figure out who mom and dad are.
Because it's that same kind of thing where like everyone's DNA starts spreading out the branches of the trees.
Right.
But the more samples that we can find and we can keep comparing them, it keeps bringing us in because we find like the traits that are similar between the people.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool, and it's like I said, this is a baby. If you couldn't tell,
I'm gonna throw up. Like, that's gross.
I know. Here's the thing though, is we're just trying to figure out what happened to it. The remains, they are what they are. We're honestly trying to just fill in the blanks here. This is a historic event that happened. It is what it is. No one's changing that now. We're just trying to get some answers and figure out exactly what occurred. Whoever, the mother and father are, have their reasons for whatever they did. I'm not saying it's right.
Right.
You never know what kind of headspace someone's in. Like, you could look at me and I could appear put together, but I'm a mess in my personal life,
Carrie plays the part, nodding along, pretending to be impressed by the wonders of modern DNA, as if she's a curious bystander. But beneath the fake fascination is panic she can barely contain. Because no matter how amazed she pretends to be, science isn't here to entertain. It's here to expose her. And her innocent facade that she had been wearing for years was about to finally crumble.
So part of the thing is, we're asking people as we're going through. So this is a very newborn baby that gets found. And we're trying to hash that out as to exactly what happened to it. And we're just getting people's perspective.
Right.
Like, these remains, they get found in Washington Park. In your mind, what would cause someone to leave a baby in a place? Anything you could think of?
No. Because they have all those, like, hospitals, safe places.
Yeah, like a safe haven to leave kids.
Sorry. No,
Yeah, that's what we're trying to wrap our head around.
No idea. That's...
So there's some aggravating factors with this as well.
I think especially, like, how?
Right. That's what we're trying to wrap our heads around and get from people. This happened, and I think within short order, we're going to be able to figure out definitely who mom is, and then we'll work through who dad is, and, we got to collect all these DNA samples and go from there. But, the thing about this is... So, I'm sorry I got to show you this, but I do, because it is important. Okay? The baby was actually set on fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not only was it abandoned, but...
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out exactly what happened to this baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because here's the thing, right? Is it could be a couple different things here. We know the baby was alive. We know it breathed. Had lung flowing through its airs. Was healthy, was crying. And then this happened.
Ugh.
Carrie listens as detectives calmly lay out the facts. However, her reaction is minimal which doesn't go unnoticed. Now, they just need to see what Carrie will do with the facts laid out. And to their surprise, the truth is about to burst wide open with a chilling confession, one that no one saw coming.
So we're trying to figure out, who did it, obviously, right?
Right.
Because in your mind, I mean, you see that. What's that scream to you?
But it's crazy.
But I mean, as I said, everything's explained.
Right.
But it's not me. I don't know. Especially when, we can prove it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the spot you want to be, or someone wants to be, I should say.
Right.
Right? Like if someone is truly related or the mother or father of this child, the best thing they could do when we talk to them, and this is just me thinking out loud, is the best thing they could do when we talk to them is be truthful, right? Like, yeah, all right, yeah, this is what happened, but I didn't do that, or so-and-so did that, but people that lie, that ain't going to go their way, right? Because everything gets figured out. As I was telling you, like that Golden State guy,
right,
or oldest son. Look at that, the Giglio Beach guy that killed all those girls.
Right.
They figure it out, because what they do is we end up, we go, we get DNA, we make comparisons, and God helps someone if they lie. Because all you have is your credibility, right? Because 27 years ago, baby Moses gets found here, right? And say you are mom, right? I'm not saying you are, but say you are, right? And we bring you down here, and you say, no, I'm not the mother. I was never pregnant then. What if that's not true? Like, we could figure all that stuff out, right? And then what happens is we go, hey, guess what? We found this baby, and the mother said she's not the mother. What's that scream to you? If you're
I did it.
You did it?
I did it.
What happened?
I got pregnant. I had the baby. I gave birth in my bathtub. Baby died. Didn't know how to get rid of it.
The confession came out of nowhere. Carrie might have simply realized there was no way out. But this was only the beginning. What followed would turn the entire interrogation into a roller coaster, one filled with disturbing, tragic details that were about to surface for the first time in 27 years.
How'd the baby die?
I think I had water in the bathtub. I think it drowned.
You drowned it?
I didn't drown it.
In that bathtub?
Yes.
Inside that apartment? Right there?
Yes.
Why'd you the baby?
I didn't baby.
Who did?
I don't know who did.
Who'd you give the baby to?
I had the baby by myself. I went down to the park. I handed it to somebody.
Who'd you hand it to?
I don't know. Some random person.
Carrie, that doesn't.
I swear to God.
You did not hand this baby to a random person. That didn't happen.
I didn't know what to do. I set the baby on fire.
Was it screaming?
No, it was dead. It was dead.
So, what did you put the baby in?
A towel.
A towel? Because the doctor who did the autopsy says your version's bull.
I put it in it.
No, what I'm saying is this baby was breathing for minutes. This baby was alive.
I had it in the... I did.
That doesn't lie. This is 27 years ago. Let's clean this up. Let's be done with this here and now. That baby died, not of natural causes.
I didn't kill the baby that I'm aware of. I had it in the bathtub.
It didn't drown. There's no water in the lungs. That didn't happen. It's not of natural causes. There's no trauma, so that leaves one thing. And you know what that one thing is?
Suffocation?
This woman killed her own newborn, set the body on fire, and hid the truth for 27 years. And now, as the truth resurfaces, there's still no sign of remorse. She puts her lies over her confession like a cherry on top of a sundae. But this is where her lies are about to crumble.
Here's the thing. I get it. You're all alone in 1997. You probably moved here because you were pregnant and you were trying to hide it.
I did not. I moved here for a job.
Moved here for a
I
job.
didn't know I was pregnant until after I moved here.
Okay. Fair enough. And that, listen, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's probably true.
That is the truth.
But we know definitively that this child breathed. We know it was taking breath in its little lungs. All right? If you freaked out and did this, that's fine. We need to know. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, what?
The child.
With what?
To put in the bag.
Put it in the bag. Did you cover his mouth? His nose?
I don't remember. I don't remember that part. I may have. I don't know that I put it in a bag, though.
Okay, let's talk about this. Did you hear the baby cry and screaming?
I did not.
You didn't hear the baby cry?
No, I swear. That I remember. I do not remember hearing the baby crying.
We put him in a bag. And we know he's alive. We definitively know that from the doctor. You know?
Because an autopsy was completed on the baby. And that's how we know the baby didn't drown.
So that's what we need to figure out. And we honestly want to know because there's, the one thing I've consistently said about this whole thing is I have more questions than I have answers. And I hate being in that spot,
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure that out and we need to flush that out so we can all move forward. This is a long, long time ago. You know what I mean? So you have the baby in the tub. It doesn't drown.
No.
Okay.
I did have it in the tub. I don't remember covering its mouth and nose. Did I? Maybe. I do remember putting it in the bag. I don't remember hearing it cry.
What kind of bag?
I think like a Walmart type.
Like a plastic bag?
Like a plastic bag.
Okay. And then, how'd you get down to Washington Park?
Drove.
You drove. And you're by yourself?
Yeah. 1,000%.
The detectives had their confession. But with Carrie, another lie is never too far behind. So they need to get the whole story straightened out. And while the core of the confession is over, the gruesomeness of the story isn't. And what follows would take the case to an entirely new level of horror.
Did you ever go see a doctor about being pregnant?
No.
So nobody knew?
No.
It was just, you found out and kind of kept it to yourself?
Like I said, I gave birth in the bathtub.
And then you go to Washington Park. At any point, did you see when you were on your way down there, did you see any police stations? Did you see any hospitals? Did you see any?
No, I did. No. You just
want to get rid of the baby. How did you figure out to set it on fire?
I don't know. I don't.
Do you remember if you used matches or a lighter?
I think matches on the lighter.
Matches.
I think. Why? I don't.
So I got to ask you the natural thing because based on the way the baby's found, did you hear scream cries as the baby was?
No, I think the baby was dead at that point.
At what point, before or after you leave your house, did the baby die?
I think before.
Before.
I don't remember it. No.
Do you remember the baby looking at you?
No. No, I think I was just so, like I said, gave birth in the bathtub, was dealing with myself. I don't think I really, I don't remember it crying. I don't remember.
Did you remember moving?
No, not. No, I mean, I think I was just trying to take care of myself,
Yeah. How'd you sever the umbilical cord?
Scissors.
I mean, here's the thing. We know from what the doctor told us, right, that this baby was taking breaths, was alive, right? So what we need to sort out now, between us three in this room, so we can all be done with it and move on, is how exactly this baby died, right? I mean, here's the thing.
I must have suffocated it. I mean,
that's
all I can. My recollection, like I blocked it.
Carrie tries to use time to her advantage, counting on the fact that the case is nearly 3 decades old and memories might fade. But like every time before, her version of events is about to crumble yet again. And this is where her bizarre motive comes to light as she finally reveals the chilling truth.
We got to do an honest account of that with each other. Not a I think, because this is something you don't forget. You probably haven't thought about it in a long time, but it's definitely something you don't forget.
I put my hands over his mouth and nose.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And then you press down?
Yeah. I think.
No, not I think. It's either did or didn't. And I'm not pressuring you to say something, but I need a definitive answer here.
Yes.
Yes, what?
I pressed down.
Did the baby stop crying when you did that?
Again, I don't remember the baby crying, but it must have. I don't remember the baby crying.
I want you to think back to 1997 when you had your hand over your mouth and nose. Did you feel those little breaths hitting your hand?
Yes.
How long until it stopped?
10 minutes? I don't know.
You held your hand on the baby for 10 minutes?
I don't. Timing, I don't know.
Why?
Why did I do it?
Yeah.
I think I just had no clue what I think I was just in shock.
You're in shock. Had you met Jason yet at that point?
We were working together.
Did you like him at that point?
No, he was engaged. We were just co-workers.
So this is something you were young and you were scared?
Yeah, he doesn't even know about this.
Have you ever told anyone?
No.
Never
Nobody.
told anyone?
Well, never told anybody?
No.
Mom, dad,
Nobody.
sister, nobody?
Nobody.
Just kept it inside the whole time?
Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask you this, because it's been a long time. After 27 years, how have you never told anyone?
I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I blocked it out of my memory. I didn't even know today was the date. I just, wiped it.
In the U.S., during the year 1997, an average of 20 fetal terminations per 1,000 women occurred in the 15 to 44 age group, most of them being younger than 25 years old. And Carrie was 25 when she became pregnant with baby Moses, old enough to understand her options. But instead of seeking help or even informing the father, she made a fatal decision. At 25 and already working at a respected real estate firm, Carrie wasn't some confused teenager. She was a grown adult, making grown decisions that have consequences. Unfortunately, one of those decisions was murder. And by the time anyone learned the truth, the damage wasn't just done. It had been neatly wrapped and buried for nearly 3 decades. And the detectives are about to confront a stone-cold mother who doesn't flinch and sits proudly narrating the horror without an inch of guilt.
What's it feel like to kill someone?
Terrible. Terrible.
Walk me through your emotions. I always ask everyone that's killed someone, and you're not the first person.
Shame, embarrassment, hatred of myself.
When did that kick in?
Immediately.
After you did it?
Mm-hmm.
So after you pressed on that baby's face, and you recall pushing on his face?
I do now, yes.
And you felt those little
Breaths
breaths hitting your hand, and then you felt them stop. How long after that did you take this baby down to Washington Park?
An hour or two.
An hour or two. And that's a towel, you said?
I believe it was a towel. A blanket, a towel.
And you put...
Was it a towel?
Oh, it's like a pillowcase.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a pillowcase.
Could be a towel. I don't know. Pillowcase, towel, some sort of cloth object. Did you wrap it in that?
Yes.
But the baby was definitely dead before you set it on fire, right?
Yes. 1,000% it was dead before I left the apartment.
You killed it?
I believe it was dead before I left the apartment. I can't say 100% sure because I didn't, feel pulse or anything. I didn't.
If you had, let me ask you this, if you had not done what you did, would that baby still be alive today?
Yes.
Anything we didn't ask you that you think's important?
No.
If you could say anything to that baby right now, what would it be?
I love you and I'm sorry.
If he asked you, why'd you do this to me?
I was young, stupid, and
it's if I could show you the panorama one, went all the way around.
Did you ever go back to the park? No, never.
you know, I mean, I've gone for like the Tulip Fest or something like that. But
Events,
no,
but not.
No.
Did you ever go, when you went for Tulip Fest, did you ever go to this area?
No. I mean, just walking around with friends or whatever, but I just, like I said, I blocked it out.
Her words feel hollow, and the absence of remorse is chilling. The detective tries to bring emotion into the conversation, hoping to break through. But Carrie remains cold and detached. And yet, the disturbing story is still not over. What remains is the details of the traumatic delivery.
As you recall, the evening hours you started feeling cramping, and you believed that was you about to give birth.
Mm-hmm.
You got a pair of scissors. You went into the bathtub where you ran warm water, I would assume?
Yeah.
Where you ran warm water. And then you delivered the baby. You pulled the baby out. You cut the umbilical cord. Cut it with your right hand or your left hand?
I'm right-handed, right-handed.
Right-handed, okay. You recall baby moving around. You don't recall if it was crying, but you know it was alive because it was moving. You put the baby down.
Okay.
You cut the umbilical cord. You take care of yourself. And then you placed your hand over the baby's nose and mouth and applied pressure until the baby stopped moving. Did you know you were going to kill it when you were doing that?
Yes. I think yes.
So you knew what you were doing, but you did, correct?
Right. I knew what I was doing. I was young. I was stupid. I didn't, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you intentionally kill this baby. Then, after about an hour, you go to Washington Park and set the baby on fire. And if that baby were alive today, you would say, I love you and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now that I'm older, wiser, have kids, and yeah.
Yeah. You're
young, stupid, and
yeah. It's a long time ago, Carrie.
a long time ago.
Carrie, do you know who the father is?
Where's he live?
I have no idea.
How'd you link up with him?
We were in Roxbury together.
Roxbury?
He's old, much older than I. Well, not much older, but he's older than I am. And
Like how much older?
5 years. I think he's married now, and I don't know if he has kids.
And that was a consensual thing you guys had done together? That wasn't.
It was consensual. Yes, he has no idea. He didn't even know I was pregnant.
Okay, but I'm saying you weren't or anything like that.
No.
Every word out of her mouth is disturbing. But ignorance or panic doesn't excuse the murder of a newborn. Sadly, Carrie isn't the only mother who's taken such a horrifying step. It's a grim reminder that the very person meant to protect a child can sometimes be the one who destroys them. And Carrie? She's about to prove she hasn't grown wiser with time, only older.
You give me your word?
Yes. Swear. Yeah. No,
I don't care what anyone has done. Like
I'm in a relationship. I'm happy. My kids.
Yeah.
So now, what now?
I mean, we got to figure out what's what now. I mean, I want to honestly just take a second to process everything we just talked about, and I'm sure you do too.
Right. I mean, am I in trouble? Am I going to be arrested?
I mean, I can't definitively say that. I honestly don't know. Like, you know, it's so long ago and there's so many variables. I'm more mainly concerned with, like, I don't care if people get arrested or not, as like just me as a cop. I never care about that. That's why I love investigations, because all I want to do is just figure out what happened.
Right.
Like, if you didn't kill this kid, great. If you did,
yes,
don't do that.
No.
You know?
I
mean, we got to figure it out. Give me a minute to process everything we just said here. Because it is a lot. I honestly don't know, Carrie. You know, what do you think should happen out of this?
Personally, if it was years ago, I think I should be in trouble. It's 27 years later. I've got my life back in order. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I did it.
Did what?
I killed a child. I killed a baby.
Yeah, I mean,
Would
you say you murdered it?
I would have to say that's what I did.
Yeah, at what point did you decide that's the burning was what you were going to do?
I started to walk away, and then I was afraid that there might be evidence on the towel. So it wasn't the baby, it was...
You were trying to get rid of the towel.
The towel. Or the whatever, blanket, towel, whatever.
Why not just take the towel?
Stupid, young, not thinking, not...
Because him and I have talked about this a lot. Like, I've really tried to get in your headspace from that time. Because I pride myself on being a pretty decent person.
I just don't think at that point, and I was physically ill too. I kept passing out with the towel. I had wiped the baby off again, and then I think I was afraid my fingerprints or whatever would be on the towel. So I wasn't setting the baby on fire. I was setting the towel on fire.
What a saint she is. She only meant to burn the evidence, not the baby. Carrie still seems to believe that somehow makes her look better. It's clear she hasn't changed one bit in 27 years. No remorse, no guilt. Just the same cold, self-serving mindset. In fact, she genuinely thinks that because the crime is decades old, she might catch a break. But she cannot be more wrong.
I mean, it happened. I was stupid. I was dumb. I was young. I was embarrassed. And honestly, I'm kind of glad it's over because somebody else knows at this point.
You feel relieved?
I do. In a way. Yeah.
That had to eat you up.
For years it did.
Yeah.
But then...
Now you've made peace with it?
I did. I think after having my kids and... I don't know. I don't know if I made peace with it. I just...
Learn to cope with it, I should say.
Yes.
Well, that's like any trauma, it doesn't matter if it's...
5 years, 20 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's military service, first responder, car crash.
I mean, I've had so much other crap in my life, my house robbed, my divorce, it's just...
Yeah. Someone sees this as this baby set on fire, and they're like, what monster did that? But you lay out your logic of, no, I wasn't trying to hurt the baby, I was trying to destroy physical evidence, right? So honestly, explaining things like that and talking it out, things aren't always what they appear, right? I mean, is it a killing of a human being? Yes. Yeah, it's an intentional killing, but the heinous part of it, you offered an explanation, which, okay, fair enough. So as far as dealing with that and prepping people, if that's something you choose to do, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to live your life.
Right.
You got anything?
Nope. Pretty good. I think we went over everything.
Do you have any questions of me? I've asked you a lot of questions.
I'm worried about my career and everything too,
Yeah. Rightfully so. You don't know. I mean, which is partially why I have to ask you, are you thinking about harming yourself?
No.
Okay.
No.
Carrie Mazuka never went to a full trial. Instead, she chose to take a plea deal. After her eventual arrest in September 2024, she was indicted and scheduled to stand trial for second-degree murder, evidence tampering, and concealment of a human corpse. However, on February 13, 2025, just weeks before the case would proceed to trial in Albany County Court, she pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter and tampering with physical evidence as part of a deal with prosecutors. On April 18, 2025, she was finally sentenced to 25 years in state prison, with an additional 1 year and 4 months to 4 years for tampering, which would run concurrently with 5 years of post-release supervision.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
Oh, my wife's been murdered.
What address is this at?
3466 South 700 East.
Okay, repeat the address for verification. Okay.
Pardon? 3466 South 700 East.
And what city are you in?
Salt Lake.
Are you in South Salt Lake?
Yes.
Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from?
I come home, my wife's been murdered.
On November 30th, 2010, authorities in South Salt Lake, Utah received a distressing 911 call from Earl Black, informing them about the murder of his wife, Sherry Black. 64-year-old Sherry had been working at the bookstore they owned when she was mercilessly stabbed by an intruder with a pair of scissors. What could have led the perpetrator to kill her so ruthlessly? What started as a horrifying tragedy for this family ended up haunting them for 10 years. Sherry Black, a loving mother and grandmother, had married her high school sweetheart Earl Black in her youth. By 2010, the couple, married for over 46 years, shared a loving relationship and were living the life of their dreams in South Salt Lake City. Sherry was adored by her neighbors and relatives for her caring personality. She was always fond of books and had wanted to start a library. She was a passionate book collector, starting from her home and later expanding it to Earl's bookstore, known as B&W Billiards and Books. This bookstore was a haven for book enthusiasts because the collection included rare and unique books. Sherry would have never imagined that a place where she cherished spending her time could be the place of her death. Was her passion for rare books what ultimately led to her fate? What could have gone wrong in a peaceful bookstore that resulted in this tragedy? Let's take a closer look at the fateful day. November 30th, 2010 was a calm and ordinary day in South Salt Lake when Earl Black and his employee Michael Vasquez returned home from work. Earl couldn't find Sherry at home, so he and Michael went to the bookstore to look for her. On entering, what Earl witnessed was a nightmare that would torment him forever. Sherry was lying on the ground, cold, having been stabbed to death with multiple wounds to her head, chest, and torso, which seemed to have been inflicted with a pair of scissors. Earl, completely devastated, immediately called 911 for assistance.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
Oh, my wife's been murdered. Pair of scissors sticking in her.
Is this a house or an apartment?
This is a husband.
No, are you at a house or an apartment?
I'm in a house in my shop.
What's the name of the business?
I'm in the other room, yes. Oh.
How old is your wife? Okay, is she awake?
No, she's dead.
Okay, is she breathing at all?
No, she's dead. She's cold. Oh.
Is the person who did this, could they still be nearby?
I doubt it.
Is there any serious bleeding?
Oh, just get here.
Okay, I do have help on the way. You need to. I need to ask you some more questions just to get help started, okay?
No, just get here.
Okay, I have help on the way to you. Is there any serious bleeding?
I don't know. She had a pair of scissors sticking in her, and I pulled them out. Almighty.
Okay, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay? You said you already took the scissors out?
Yes. Oh.
Okay, listen carefully. I want you to lay her flat on her back and remove any pillows.
I haven't touched her.
Okay. Can you get next to her to see if we can start CPR on her?
Oh, you can't. She's cold. Oh. Oh, man. What the... Jesus Christ.
Where has she been stabbed at?
Pardon?
Where has she been stabbed at?
Oh, I don't know. In the chest. It doesn't matter. Just get here. You can't save her. She's gone.
Okay, let me give you some CPR instructions to help her, okay?
I can't handle this.
Okay, I need you to get in the room with her, and I want you to lay her flat on her back on the ground and remove any...
She's flat on her back.
Okay. I need you to kneel next to her and look in her mouth for any food or vomit, okay?
Hey, she's dead. Just get here.
So you don't want to do CPR?
She's cold. She's dead. Hey, Sherry's been murdered. Yes, get Heidi.
Do you have any idea who could have done this, sir?
I have no idea. It's the bookstore. I have no idea.
At the bookstore?
Yes.
Where at in the business are you?
A bookstore.
No, are you where at?
Sir, we're just arriving. Sir, we're just arriving. This is the dispatcher. Just stay on the phone with my friend, okay?
Sir, where at inside the building are you? Are you just right inside the doors, or where are you?
I'm right inside the door. Mike, you get somebody there.
Is that where your wife is also?
She's in the bookstore here.
Do you have any idea who could have done this?
No.
Do you know what time frame this could have happened between?
Hey, I just got home. Just goodbye.
No, don't hang up, sir. Sir, are you still there?
Oh my God.
As soon as the officers reached the bookstore, they found the place completely disrupted. Sherry was lying covered in blood, with a jacket covering her chest and waist, and a pair of scissors on the floor. Both Earl and Michael were questioned. Earl mentioned that when he found Sherry naked, he pulled the scissors out from her chest and covered her body with his jacket out of respect. Michael also stated that he had known the duo for 20 years and could not imagine anyone doing this to her. After examining Sherry's body, detectives believed that the murder was likely sexually motivated. However, no physical evidence was found to support this. Moreover, the place was in disarray when the investigators surveyed it, yet there were no signs of theft in the bookstore. As the police department investigated the area, they learned that most witnesses had seen nothing unfamiliar. Surveillance camera footage from a nearby resident captured Earl and Michael leaving around 9:30 a.m. and returning around 1:20 p.m. A few pieces of evidence were found at the crime scene, including bloodstains on the doorknob, a pair of scissors, and an Armani belt near Sherry's body. The blood was submitted for forensic examination, and later a DNA profile was developed. The results showed the DNA of a male suspect. As the investigation proceeded, Earl said that on the day of Sherry's murder, he had a meeting with a book vendor at around 10:30 a.m. The vendor had contacted Earl after Sherry's murder and told Earl that he had visited the bookstore that day. The police officers then contacted the vendor for questioning. The vendor told the police that he visited the store that day and waited for 45 minutes but couldn't find anyone there, so he left. The police speculated that Sherry had been murdered while the vendor was inside the bookstore. These suspicions led the police to call the vendor in for further investigation. The vendor visited the police station with his attorney and was cooperative. He provided all the essentials, including his DNA, for examination. His results didn't match with the evidence found at the crime scene, and he was ruled out as a suspect. With days passing and no new leads, detectives contacted Sherry's friends and family and collected their DNA and palm prints for additional investigation. But the outcome was disappointing. There were no matches. Just a few weeks after Sherry's death, on December 18, 2010, a similar murder of 45-year-old Christine Marie Gable was reported. The perpetrator behind Christine's death was identified as 31-year-old Paul David Vara. Christine was attacked in the same way Sherry was attacked, and this made police think that it was Paul who committed both murders. However, surprisingly, after an investigation, it was found that Paul had been in jail at the time of Sherry Black's murder. Hence, another suspect was ruled out. In 2017, Greg Miller, Sherry's son-in-law, announced a reward of $50,000 for information that would help in solving Sherry's case. This provided the detectives with different leads, but all in vain. Nothing led them to the suspect, and eventually, all the leads were exhausted. As months turned into years, leaving the family in pain, the Black family never lost hope and still believed that one day the case would reach its conclusion. To keep the case in the public eye, the family took up different activities such as candlelight vigils, as well as getting media coverage for their story. After nearly 6 years of fruitless investigation, Detective Joe Sutera of the South Salt Lake Police Department, or SSLPD, who led the case, retired in 2017. After this, the case was handled by the SSLPD and the Unified Police Department of Greater Salt Lake, along with cold case detective Ben Pender of the Unified Police Department. In 2017, on the 7th anniversary of Sherry's murder, Sorensen Labs in Utah developed a genealogical profile of the suspect from the DNA collected at the crime scene. On this occasion, Greg Miller also announced an even higher reward of $250,000 for any information that helped point them towards a suspect. Despite this, no significant clues were revealed by anyone who came forward. As the case went cold, in 2018, it was ultimately taken over by Detective Pender. Detective Pender reinvestigated the victim's family and friends to find some leads, but nothing led to solving the case. Later, Detective Pender learned about Paraben Nanolabs, which was beginning to use the latest DNA technology called genetic genealogy, and he provided them with the suspect's DNA sample in the hopes that they could perhaps finally make a difference. As everything else seemed to be falling apart and all the leads were exhausted, this last ray of hope remained. In September 2020, Detective Pender received a call from Carol Rolnick from Paraben Nanolabs, who said that she had managed to trace the suspect's father and grandmother to Sacramento, California. On that particular day, Detective Pender received another call providing the same information from Dr. Barbara Ray Venter, a genetic genealogist who had simultaneously been working on the case. Detective Pender met the suspect's father and grandmother in Sacramento, California. The suspect's father told Detective Pender the suspect's name was Antonio, but he didn't know the last name because Antonio's mother had never confirmed to him that he was actually the biological father. So he had never been in the picture. The father and grandmother willingly provided their DNA samples. After putting the pieces together, Detective Pender was sure they had finally identified Sherry's killer. Now the next step was to get the suspect's DNA to confirm it was a match. After some investigative research, the suspect's name was found to be 30-year-old Adam Antonio Spencer Durborough. Detective Pender located Adam in Orem, Utah, which was 35 miles away from Sherry's bookstore. Officers kept an eye on Adam. When he left his apartment on October 3, 2020, officers followed him to the food court where he ordered himself a meal. When he finished and threw the food containers in the trash, the police were ready to collect those items for DNA testing. After testing, the police got the results on October 6, 2020. Fortunately, it was a match. A decade of pain and non-stop efforts finally brought about a breakthrough. Now, all that was left was to arrest him. A decade-old case was finally unraveled due to the latest DNA technology. After attaining the arrest warrant, 30-year-old Adam Durborough was finally arrested for interrogation on October 10, 2020. The news shook the residents of South Salt Lake City, leaving them with bittersweet emotions. Will the detectives be able to make him reveal why and what led him to commit such a heinous crime? Let's focus and see exactly how the detectives will try to extract the truth from him.
Adam, that's right?
Yes.
And then do you have a middle initial or name?
Antonio Spencer.
Okay. Where does Spencer come from?
That's actually my birth name was Antonio Spencer.
Oh, okay. And last name then is Durborough?
Durborough, yeah.
Durborough.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Durborough.
Delta Uniform Romeo, Bravo, Oscar, Romeo, Oscar, Whiskey.
Okay. Do you have a relationship? And we talked a little bit about your adopted parents, and you asked me about your father. Do you have a relationship with those parents anymore?
I do, yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we parents and kids, and of course,
sure.
I have a different personality than them, so we butt heads a lot, but I do care for them.
Sure. I think that's with a lot of us, though. Adopted or not, I think kids and parents butt heads quite often.
What were you into before Dungeons and Dragons? Honestly, I didn't really, other than reading and video games, working, I just kind of, I just worked, came home, just did my best.
What other things do you do other than just video games?
I like to read. I have a few books.
Yeah. Are you big into like sci-fi?
More of a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a nice thing.
Kind of takes you out of this world, huh?
Oh yeah. It's kind of lets you just forget stuff sometimes. Yeah.
Right. You do podcasts?
I listen to a few. Yeah.
Okay. What one?
Critical Role. So it's a live action Dungeons and Dragons one. I did try Irony, Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
I listened to some of those for a while. Never really got into them though.
No. We'll go ahead and get started. And I know we kind of had a conversation in the car a little bit as well. You have any idea why you're here today, Adam?
Pretty solid idea.
Okay. And I'll tell you right up front, I'll be 100% honest with you, okay, about everything. And if you have questions, if I can answer them, and I'll answer them for you. If I can't, or if they're stuff that's just confidential right now, I'll just say I can't. It's confidential information, stuff like that. But I'll be 100% honest with you about everything, okay?
As the investigator asks Adam about his background, Detective Pender is ready to delve deeper, and he wants to get to the bottom of the matter.
I'm not here to trip you up or lie to you or cause any problems or anything like that. The reason you're here today is you're here because of the Sherry Black case. We don't have you here because we're wondering if you did it or not. I know you did it, okay? I've been working this case for over 5 years. You've probably even seen me on TV before working this case, but I've been very active in this case, and today's the day really that I wanted to try to have an opportunity to talk to you about the why. It's not a matter of who, it's about the why. And listen, I know about your past a little bit. I know about your juvenile history. I know you had a very difficult upbringing, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, but what I could see, it seems to me that you've kind of had a tough time in your juvenile years, and as you got older, you clearly have matured and you've changed your ways. And I can't imagine this, carrying this around with you for all these years. That would just be extremely difficult, and I can't imagine what you've gone through to have to bear this burden that occurred. If you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk, but I just want to tell you a little bit. I want to talk to you, so I'm not asking you any questions right now. I'm just telling you a little bit about, this case. Clearly this was somebody's mother, this was somebody's grandmother. And I think during those times when you were younger and stuff, I think you kind of took off on a bad road. But I think as you were younger and stuff, I think you kind of were exposed to different things that kind of, I think, pushed you that way too. With your mother, I think your mom has a little bit of history, and not that she's a bad mother. I just think some of the things that she was involved in and some of the people she was involved in, you probably were around and saw those types of behaviors. And as a young person, a lot of times we acclimate to that. I mean, if our parents are doing something and we think that might be okay, and in my opinion, I think that's what kind of happened here. Is I think you kind of took a different road. And things happened, and clearly, I think since that time, you've made some huge steps forward as far as changing your ways and trying to be a different person, and clearly you have been, right? You haven't been in, I can't see any type of history other than you had a couple of retail thefts as an adult. Other than that, I don't see anything there. So clearly, you've been able to make some changes and positive changes in your life because of that. I can't imagine anybody else probably even knows about this. You've bottled this up inside for you for 10 years. I can't imagine holding a secret like that for 10 years without being able to talk to anybody about it and kind of get it off my chest and what have you. But you can continue down the path as when you were younger, when you were a juvenile, you can continue down that path. And yeah, it's an easier path right now. There's places to hide and things to, guard yourself a little bit from. Or you can make a change and decide, what, enough's enough. I've carried the burden long enough. And I'm going to take the right path. And the right path, as you know, it is going to be a little bit bumpy at first, right? I mean, it's not an easy path to take. But I can tell you, over all the years I've been investigating homicide cases and cold case homicides, and being in the same situation with you as I have been with other individuals sitting in that same seat that you're sitting in today, I can tell you when they get it off their chest, they feel a sense of relief and they feel a sense of some calmness in themselves with that, knowing that they've carried that burden around with them. I want to take the why and I want to provide that to the district attorney's office. I mean, clearly I have to screen this case with them. We've already been in contact with them, but I'm going to be screening this case with them this week. And I want to be able to go up there and say, listen, this is what happened. I mean, times were different for him than they are today. This is a different person today. And this is the explanation behind it. Versus just going up and saying, here's our case, and we're going to charge him. To me, it makes a lot better sense to be able to provide the district attorney's office a why and kind of personalize you, right? I mean, you're not just anybody or a number. You're an individual, and I want them to see that about you. I truly feel bad for whatever happened to you in your younger years. I think you had a tough time with your mom and with people that she was associating with probably when she was here locally. And then you get in foster or get adopted, you get adopted. And then this situation with your adopted father happens. When I found that out, it's like, does this guy ever get a break? I truly did. I mean, I just feel like he goes probably from one situation that's not probably the best for a child to be in to another one where you think you're going into a good, wholesome, safe place. And then another situation happens. And it's like, where does this young man get a break at? I want to be able to talk to the family and tell them, listen, this is what happened and this is why it happened. And I can't promise you anything, but here's been my experience. People that cooperate, I tend to think judges, juries, families, people tend to be a little bit more willing to work with that. I don't want to pressure you. I'm not trying to force you to do anything. You, at the end of the day, you're going to make your own decision because, like I said, I know coming here in the car, you said if you're going to talk to me about anything, I want legal representation, and you are entitled to that for sure. Absolutely, you are. It's something I couldn't do today. I would have to go and obviously book you into jail and charge you today with that. But again, I would like the opportunity to be able to go up to the district attorney's office this week and be able to personalize this a little bit with them and explain a little bit more of kind of what was going on in that time in your life. And, again, there might be somewhat of an explanation for all of this too.
Adam's silence indicates him accepting the truth, but will he be able to confess to the crime?
Just trying to think.
Sure. Take your time.
When you guys stopped me today, I knew. I mean, I haven't done anything else in my life. But I definitely felt some relief, which sounds odd. I mean, if it's hurt so much for years, why not just come forward, right? But it's just been one of those things where it's like, I have so many people in my life now that I just didn't want to. That's so selfish.
It's not. I know it sounds like it is, but it's really not, Adam.
This family's been, I see them, they ask for answers, not just been. It's been a long 10 years. Probably shouldn't say it was not a lawyer, but honestly, it's just they do need to know. I went into that store and I had no intention at all to do anything. This was a bookstore. I love books. It was just, I don't know. I was just looking through. There's no one else in the store. And it'd been a rough week. I remember that. I was being told I wasn't making the progress that they wanted to see. My mom was super stressed out. She was afraid that I was just going to be another number in the system again. And I was so angry, and I don't know, I just lashed out. It just happened. She was there, and it's a mistake that I wish every day that I had never ever made. I was young. I was stupid. I was so angry. I was so confused. It wasn't personal. It wasn't planned. It was spontaneous. And I'm sorry that I did it. Not just that I've been caught for doing it, but I am sorry that I did it. I wish I could take it back.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about this, but before I do, obviously I'd have to read you your Miranda rights. And like I said, I know we had talked about this in the vehicle, and you specifically said that, if you're going to ask me any questions, I'd want some representation. Have you changed your mind? Are you willing to talk to me right now about this and allow me to ask some questions about this?
Yeah, I'll answer as much as I can right now.
Okay. Do you understand your rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes.
Are you willing to talk to me and Detective Child here without consulting a lawyer or having a lawyer present with you?
Yes.
If there's something that I ask and you don't want to answer, just say I don't want to answer. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
Adam's instant confession reveals his guilt. He appears remorseful for his actions. Adam is cooperative and willingly accepts to proceed with the interrogation. Detective Pender wants to know the exact details and the motive that drove Adam to such extreme lengths.
The first question I have is, do you have any ties? Did you ever have any ties to that bookstore? Had you ever been there before?
No, that was the first time.
That was your first time?
I had been by it a couple of times. I just never really gone in before.
Okay. And how did you know the bookstore was there?
There was a sign up front.
Okay.
I don't remember what the sign said, but I do remember there being a sign.
At the very beginning of kind of the day, that's around the time, and just kind of walk me through of, how did you get there? I mean, those types of things. I mean, to get me into the bookstore. Where did you come from?
Start of the day, or?
Yeah, let's start the day. Let's start that day of what you can remember.
I think it was a Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday or Thursday, I had therapy that day. I remember that. Yeah, I left the foster home, just took the bus. I was thinking for a while. Like I said the day before, it was just Proctor parents had the talk with me. They weren't super happy. My mom was super disappointed, super worried about me. But I remember I got off the bus and I was just walking and walking for a while. It wasn't long before the therapy session when I saw the building and looked at the time, figured I had enough time to just try to just look around for a bit. So I entered the store. Asked if she had a particular book series in stock. She didn't. I didn't realize that she specialized in certain kinds of books. So, but I decided to look around anyways because I love books. I couldn't really just get into any of them. I was just stewing, just kind of silently fuming, I guess. She was concerned. She walked over and asked if everything was fine. Told her it was fine. I didn't need any help at the time. She smiled and turned away. And there was just a pair of scissors nearby. And I picked them up. And I hit her. I just hit her on the back of the head. And it's just kind of, I couldn't tell you. I was just so angry. I don't know why. Just so angry and just so, I ran out of that store. I'm surprised nobody saw me. I was just running. I don't know if I had blood I don't remember if I had any blood on my face or anything, but I just ran. I didn't stop until I got to my therapist's office. Just like a 10, 15 minute run, I think. I didn't realize what I had done until I was in the bathroom just scrubbing. So I was actually, my current Proctor family was on vacation and they didn't take me, so I was with another family in Magna.
In Magna. Okay.
So I took the bus from Magna.
And then how did you get up to their residence?
I took another bus.
And then where did you get off from that bus?
I don't remember. Like I said, I got off at one point and then just walked and walked.
Okay. Were you thinking about going to the bookstore or?
No, I didn't.
You were just going on the bus?
Yeah. I just, like I said, I've never really noticed it before.
Okay. So you go into the bookstore. How did you enter into the bookstore? From what door?
Someone on the left, so I assume just the front one.
The front door? Okay. Yeah. What does that face as far as what area does that face? Does it face
street?
The street. Okay. So you go to that door in that door, it's open?
It was open, yeah.
Okay. Was a sign on or anything indicating that it was open?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe it was a flip sign.
So you go into the store. Anybody else there?
No, it's just me and her.
Just you and her. You and Sherry. Okay.
Me and Sherry.
So you go in there, you kind of start looking around. You asked her about a series. What series did you ask her that you were looking for, book-wise? Do you remember?
No.
And she said she didn't have whatever that series was?
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of just started looking around the store. Okay. And I know this is the tough part, but this is where we need to dive in a little bit deeper with what actually happens inside of the store. I know you said you had grabbed the scissors. You hit her in the head. Was she facing away from you when you hit her in the head?
Yes. I'm sure you know the layout of the place. Right. But it was not in the main area where the cashier station was.
Okay.
It was kind of that secondary room where the two tables were.
Okay. Is it the secondary room behind the cash register, or is it the other secondary room?
The other secondary room.
Okay.
Not the one behind the register.
Okay. So you go into that secondary room and she's in there?
No, she wasn't in there.
Okay.
She actually came up to me and asked if everything was okay.
Right. Right.
Probably had just a really big frown on my face.
Sounds like she kind of sensed that something was bothering you probably too, huh?
Yeah. That's where I attacked her.
So you attacked her in the back room? In, you said that secondary room?
In that kind of, that side room.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I understand it. So you mentioned you grabbed the scissors and you hit her in the head. And I said, did you hit her in the head in that secondary room? Is that accurate to say? Or was she not back there yet?
No, she was back there.
She was back there. Was her back towards you then? What was she doing in there?
She was turning away, like to walk back towards the main area.
When this initially takes place, where are you, in the main area of the store, or are you guys now in the back, into one of the secondary rooms?
No, we're in the main area.
You're in the main area. Okay. So she's walking away, and you said you grabbed some scissors. Where did you see the scissors at?
They were on the table, on one of the tables next to me.
Okay.
They were heavy scissors, very thick.
Okay. How big? Can you kind of give me an idea, size-wise?
They were almost yay big.
So you're kind of putting your hands out like about, I'm estimating,
shorter.
6 to 8 inches?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like those heavy shearing scissors.
Right. Okay. Do you remember the color of them?
Silver.
And just all silver? Any other color on them?
Just silver.
Just silver. Okay. So you said you'd hit her with the scissors?
Several times.
Several times. And that's as she's walking away from you?
Yeah.
Okay. What is she doing at this time?
She screamed. I don't remember everything here. I've tried, because there are parts, in the news, there was a report that you found my belt, and I was like, I don't remember ever taking off my belt, but here we are.
Was that your belt?
I think so. I don't know.
Well, did you later realize you didn't have a belt on that day?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, I had a belt, because, I ran, and I used to wear baggy pants.
Okay.
And running in baggy pants without a belt is just impossible. That has always thrown me. I don't remember taking off any belt, but you guys said that you found a belt at the scene, so I've always just kind of been like...
Well, I'm sure you've seen the belt on the news and all over. Is that your belt?
No, I wore studded belts. It was a phase.
So you don't think that was your belt?
I don't think it was, no. The kind of belts I wear are the kind I'm wearing now, and then back then studded belts.
Okay. Is there a reason why your DNA would be on that belt?
I touched it at one point, honestly, but I don't remember. At one point, I do remember I picked up, it was by her, like, I forget her cashier station, it was this bottle. And I picked it up and hit her over the back of the head with it.
Okay. And where is she at that time when you're hitting her over the head?
She's on the ground at this point.
And
still in that area.
In the main area of the bookstore?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just punched her in the chest a couple times. Pushed on her chest and just felt something I don't know,
I know this is really hard for you, Adam, and I really appreciate your willingness and your truthfulness.
Adam's motive is so shocking and odd that it seems difficult to believe. But Detective Pender knows there might be another hidden motive behind this gruesome act.
I wouldn't have expected you at the age of 19 to turn yourself in, or 20 or 21. I just wouldn't.
I don't remember when, but I tried to cut her throat open. You remember that? Same scissors. I didn't put myself inside her. I didn't have sex with her. I don't remember how I cut myself or when I cut myself. I do remember I was bleeding from my hand somewhere for sure. That's all I remember.
So when you talked about taking off her bra, and then you said you just looked at her. At this point, what is Sherry doing?
Sherry's dead.
She's dead. When you leave, do you take anything from the store?
No.
No books? No money? Nothing?
I ran.
Just ran. You initially go back here, and she's walking away from you. That's right. So she's already gone through that back door?
Yeah.
And that's the first time you hit her with the scissors? Okay. So everything else then occurs here?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she fall right to the ground initially?
No, she she staggered, so I hit her several times.
How many times do you think? Just an approximate time.
I don't know, man.
More than 10?
Possibly.
Possibly more than 10? And at some point she just collapses then? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to kind of get a picture of when does she actually pass? Is that before or after you're cutting your throat?
I wish I could say. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't know.
Adam agrees to write a letter of apology to the victim's family to take responsibility for what he did. His confession also displays that he seems to have worked on himself to become a better person, especially as he has never involved himself in any other crime after Sherry's murder.
Would you be willing to write the family a letter of apology?
Oh.
I mean, that stuff means a lot to people, and to be able to hear that from you. I mean, you don't need to talk about details, but would you be willing to just, kind of express your...
You work with the family. Is that something they'd want for me?
Yeah, it means a lot to families. I had another case many years ago, and actually the family, the husband was already deceased. It was the wife that had passed away in this incident, and they just had extended family. But even with the extended family, it really meant a lot coming from him. Just show that the person had taken responsibility and actually was remorseful for what happened.
Sure.
I'll step out for a little bit and give you some time. Okay. All right. Thank you. You all done?
Yeah.
Okay. You mind signing it there at the bottom for him? Any other cases out there?
No.
This is it?
This is it.
Okay. No other things you were involved with after this occurred that would catch up to you or anything?
It's what I've earned. Going forward is what I've earned, but my whole life ahead of me is just going to be behind walls. There's really nothing I can do about it because I was young and stupid. Didn't think, where will this take me on the road? It's just my life now. I really am sorry. This is a decision that just rocked so many people's lives. Not just mine. It's every day. I've driven down the freeway, seen her face. Just every year. I'm like, that should just do it. Just turn yourself in. Just get it over with. But then I look at everything I worked for. I'm like, I can't just throw this away. I worked so hard for this. I've come so far. I can't just throw it away, even if I should.
You're going to put your hands behind your back?
Adam's troublesome relationship with his parents, his juvenile record, and his years of conflict and piled up aggression are what turned his life upside down and have now led him behind bars. In October of 2020, Adam was taken to South Salt Lake Adult Detention Center, where he was booked with a homicide charge.
After a shocking and baffling homicide, prosecutors today charged an Orem man with aggravated murder in the death of South Salt Lake grandmother Sherry Black. Today, Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill revealed how DNA evidence finally cracked this decade-long cold case.
I think there is a sense of certain relief because when you have a murder and the murderer suspect is not identified, then there is always this unknown that's in our community. So I think there is a great sense of relief.
A year later in 2021, Adam entered a guilty plea for murdering Sherry Black in 2010. On February 23, 2022, Adam was officially given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Sherry Black was found beaten and stabbed to death in her bookstore in South Salt Lake on November 30th, 2010. Today, the man responsible for her death was sentenced to life without parole.
His real name's Terrence, was brutally murdered. And when I say brutally murdered, like...
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Behind that stunned expression sits 54-year-old Kenneth Robert Stowe Jr., a husband, a father of 3, and a cold-blooded killer who had been hiding a sickening secret for 25 years. Back in 1996, 31-year-old Terrence Paquette was stabbed 73 times, but the case went cold. Yet now, that gruesome crime has returned to haunt him.
I didn't do it. I can't change it. I can't explain.
For decades, Kenneth hid behind a picture-perfect life. But now, there's no escape, and every secret is about to spill out of his closet.
I can't help somebody, if they're gay, then they're gay.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is if you took them up on something and went too far, you're like, wow.
I can't. There's no way in the world I could ever be gay.
In August 2021, a breakthrough in a 2-decade-old cold case sent shockwaves through the investigation team. Back in 1996, 31-year-old Terrence Paquette was savagely stabbed 73 times inside a quiet mini-mart in Orlando, Florida. At the time of the investigation, there was not enough evidence to convict anyone. The evidence is undeniable enough to bring 54-year-old Kenneth Robert Stowe Jr. straight into the interrogation room. As he walks in clueless, he is blissfully unaware that the past he thought he had buried is about to come crashing down.
Hey, Mr. Snell.
What's up?
How's it going, bro? Let me take this stuff off you.
Pronouncing your name right.
It's Snell?
No, but he's
Oh, okay.
Stowe.
I'm Savelli, so Savelli.
Oh, okay.
I deal with
I'm a nubbing, so everybody gets that one right. Are you good? Stretch
Who's
out
the
a little
first
bit.
name, Kenny? Kenneth? I'm Ryan. This is Dave,
How's it going?
my partner. This is what I want to do, man. I want to sit down and talk to you. Obviously, this is coming a bit surprise at the bank there. So I just want to start. I want to get some very basic biographical information. Okay. Obviously, I already knew your name, but just for the record, what's your first name?
Kenneth. Okay. Kenneth Robert Stowe Jr.
And your birthday?
7/18/67.
And where do you live? And who do you live there with anybody?
Her name's Emily Edwards.
Emily. And
Yeah. Emily
wife?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Long time? Short time?
Been here with her about 8 years.
Kids?
I have kids that are grown, but through my divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, they're.
Okay, but no kids with Emily?
No.
Okay, and it's just the two of you guys living there?
No, there's her grandson. Let me see. Her grandson, her great grandson, and one of her best friends. Her name's Betty. She's like 76 years old.
Okay. Is it a big house?
Yeah, it's 2.
Right from the start of the interrogation, Kenneth appears calm and cooperative. He casually shares details about his marriage and current relationship status. But something doesn't sit right. Beneath the surface of his story and calm demeanor lies a subtle contradiction, one the detectives have already picked up on. As Kenneth speaks casually about his life in 1996, he has no idea what is heading his way. They steer the conversation with subtle precision, slowly guiding him back to reveal details about the brutal crime he thought he'd buried decades ago.
And then there's the 7-Eleven's on OBT just south, kind of where Centerlink Parkway is.
Almost where the Cablevision company
Yeah,
was.
there was a Pizza Hut back there back in the day. And then Little Champ is right down the street.
Yeah, that's on Terracona, and that was used to be Albertsons over there.
Okay, and is this kind of look like the Little Champ back then in the day?
Yeah.
Kind of the same one? It's like long road?
I worked there.
You worked there?
Yeah, I worked at that one, the one over in Wekiva.
What years were that?
I can't remember to tell you. I always worked them as part-time jobs.
Like you were a clerk?
Yeah, because I worked at Cumberland Farms, I worked at different 7-Elevens. Usually I just always did them at night jobs.
Okay.
My mom was a manager at the Little Champ.
At this Little Champ?
No, I don't think that one. The one where Rose Avenue on the corner, and now there's McDonald's beside it.
Yeah.
It's not Little Champ.
It's like Orlando Paintball now.
Yeah,
Paintball place
it's right down the street. Yeah.
So you worked at this Little Champ?
Yep, I worked at 3 different ones.
Were you like morning clerk, mid-shift, swing shift?
Different ones. Sometimes I just work on Saturdays. Sometimes I work because I always did it as a part-time job. I never did it just as.
Crazy question, and I just want you to be honest with me. Did you ever use a different name back then?
No, sir.
Did you ever go by a different name for tax purposes, like you
Never.
didn't want them to know about this?
Never. I never did nothing like that.
No fraud stuff?
No, sir.
Okay.
Detectives steer the conversation toward Kenneth's early years, hoping a deeper dive into his past will shed light on his present. However, he instantly denies any connection. For the detectives, This isn't just deflection, it's a red flag. His denial came too quickly. And this is a common response, letting the detectives know that they have struck a nerve. They've set the stage carefully, letting him think he's in control of the narrative. But this sense of false control is about to crack as the investigators try a bold move that will flip the entire interrogation upside down.
I want to show you a picture of somebody that you might have come in contact with through where you said you worked at the Little Champ. Has this person ever... Did you ever work with this guy? His name is, his government name is Terry, or Terrence, but he goes by Terry.
He looks familiar.
I mean, there's so many people that go through those jobs, right? And kind of like I explained to you earlier, like this whole thing could be a huge misunderstanding. But the times you worked at this Circle K, do you ever remember getting hurt?
At Circle K?
Yeah, or at Little Champ.
Just cuts and stuff like that with, box cutters, nothing major.
I'm going to be honest with you. Terry was murdered.
Oh, shit. I remember somebody back in the day. Somebody said somebody got hurt there.
Okay.
And I remember a robbery. It was on the news and everything else. Yeah.
Because right around the area you kind of live.
Yeah.
And what do you remember hearing about it?
Just whatever they said on the news. I don't know exactly. Okay. Yeah, just exactly what they said on the news about. Okay. It was a robbery, and I seen the crime tape and everything.
Oh, you did? So kind of like this is right here.
My mom. My mom worked at the Publix right back here, but not behind that. Yeah, just right behind the Publix. So it was actually in front of my apartment's the Publix. She retired at Publix.
We're from Orange County. We're not LA County guys. We're Orange County guys. Do you have family that works for Orange County?
Do I have family?
There's some styles that work for Orange County.
I remember back in the day, there said somebody in the sheriff's office that worked for Orange County.
But you don't have any. You don't know. Your parents never mentioned anything like that.
Until now, Kenneth seems to have only a vague idea why he's here. But all that has changed with the revelation of the photo. Despite being told that Terry was murdered, there's no expression on Kenneth's face. Instead, he tries to play it down, calling it a robbery, trying to distance himself from this so-called tragedy. The detectives know that they have him cornered, and now it is just a matter of time before the truth is revealed.
Your job at the store, at the Little Champ, did you...
cashier, stockings, stuff like that.
Did you have to deposit money into the safe at the end of your shift?
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah. Sometimes with them, we used to have to, and I thought it was scary because we had to leave there with money and deposit in the ATM.
When you would cut yourself at the store, did you have to report that to your boss? Like, hey, I just injured myself. That's pretty bad.
Nothing unless it was major.
So you never reported any?
No.
Any significant like?
I got an injury here before I dedicated when I was moving.
Well, let me show you some other pictures. So this is the inside of the store, right? Is that kind of what you remember?
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, it's going. I mean, I was going to say, and then back in the day, what we need to clear up. And this is what could be the misunderstanding. Okay. Is unfortunately Terry. I'm going to call him Terry. His real name is Terrence. Was brutally murdered. And when I say brutally murdered, like.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's crazy, right? And so nowadays, I mean, everything with crime is on TV. You can't turn the TV off.
I watch crime TV.
I mean, I do the same thing. I find myself at home falling asleep to Forensic Files sometimes because But when I say this guy was,
if I knew somebody. Wow.
But here's the problem, because I know this is the first time you see me, but I've kind of been up in your for the past couple months. So the other about a month ago, we got your DNA from you like Budweiser. You drink Bud, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you like to go the Sicko.
Yes, sir.
And so we got your beer. And so this is what we need to explain, because now we have a homicide where Terry stabbed 73 times. It happened with Terry and you. I don't know if you got into a...
I've never heard anybody.
Look at this. Listen to this. You ever watch Jerry Springer shows and they do the paternity test? And
yeah, I understand. I watch DNA shows and everything, but for somebody to say I'm responsible for something like that, no.
And let me tell you about Terry. We got to go back. We can't be talking about 2021 right now, because would you agree times are different in 2021 than they were in 96? However you want to look at it. Terry was gay.
I'm just trying to.
Well, I'm just trying to give you kind of a background. Terry was the store manager at Little Champ, and he was gay, openly gay.
Okay.
Not a big deal today.
Right.
Right. It's not uncommon to work with or associate with somebody that's gay. 96 a little bit different. Would you agree that times were different? It wasn't as widely accepted as it is today.
I used to have gay friends before, huh?
Even in 96?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, not that early, but
okay.
I mean, when I worked for Papa John, the guy I drove with was.
And you guys got along just fine? Did you have any problems or ill will towards him because he was gay in 96?
No.
And if you did, that's okay.
My boyfriend, my manager, Scott. We used to go to the Hard Rock Cafe and drink, and he was actually in a married relationship.
Okay.
So yeah.
So my question, I guess I got to get kind of personal now, because now you look at this from me, where you see Terry is gay and somebody stabbed him 73 times. Not only stabbed him 73 times, but his throat. So you watch these crime shows. What would you think if somebody had the?
I understand.
So it's personal. Would you agree?
Somebody that was angry.
Have you ever been attracted, or have you ever been with a guy?
As they explore Kenneth's past, they suggest there may have been more than just a professional relationship between him and Terrence. 1996 Orlando had a strongly conservative climate about one's orientation, with many hiding their outright denial in order to avoid discrimination, harassment, and even violence. And for a man like Kenneth, it seems that this is still a rather sensitive topic. Though Kenneth denies everything, claiming their interactions were strictly work-related, the DNA evidence tells a different story. No matter his denial, in the face of cold hard evidence, it's not long before the truth emerges, leaving Kenneth with nothing but to face the music.
So that's my next question. Is this possible that Terry made you feel uncomfortable, came on to you one morning?
No, I would call going there a lot. I go out there a lot. Just like
did he ever?
No.
Did you know Terry?
I wouldn't be mad at somebody to do something like that. That's freaking wacko right there.
Did you know Terry?
I can't say like not on a person. I was like, hey, how you doing? I played my lottery there. I got my.
But did you know Terry? Now that I say the name,
I didn't know him.
And so looking at the
just
picture,
in the store. I never worked with him.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. So when I showed you that picture of him, I said, do you know him? You said he looks familiar. Now thinking back, did you know the person there as Terry?
I can't recall. I really can't.
Okay, so when I say you know him, I don't want you to think that I'm insinuating that you knew this.
His picture that don't look familiar, but.
And here's the other thing. There's money missing from this safe here. So when does this safe look familiar? You see the safe here?
They basically they all look the same. I couldn't tell you not that long ago.
Do you know that if somebody was opening in their opening routine in the morning, that there would probably be money in there from the overnight clerk that had put money in the safe?
I know there used to be cameras in there.
Okay, all right. And so that's where I'm getting at. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
We got cameras. Yeah. So I'm trying to go little by little. So this is not really a question if you were there, because now you know that there's cameras and stuff. It's not a question of where you were there, because we have all this evidence. It's a matter of what happened and trying to explain this.
I didn't do that.
And so what I don't want, because oftentimes you're a dad, right? You say you still contact your daughter. It's just going back to dealing with kids. If your daughter came home from school and something happened at school, and she told you what happened, she might get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But if she lied to you,
she
get in more trouble. Because in our society, there's always what someone does can be explained.
Yeah.
It can be explained. Hard times, bankruptcy, whatever. Everything can be explained. But what nothing can be explained is when you lie and you try to cover up. Because what we want to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, if you didn't do this, we got to prove that Kenneth Down did not do this. And I'll do that for you. I will, but I need to know how to do that. Look at this blood drop. I'm not an expert in blood. I don't claim to be. It's clean, bro. So, and like I said, man, people do this for one or two reasons. Actually, one of three reasons. And it hasn't changed since the beginning of time.
Amanda or sick.
Huh? No.
Sick.
Women, money, and rage are just about the three oldest motives for something like this. money, women, and rage, right? So obviously you were married to Wanda.
Yeah.
And see, we asked all these questions. I knew you were married to Wanda. I know you haven't spoke to Amanda and your son and all that stuff. See, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to just figure out why this happened. It's not. I don't want you to think I'm being rude or condescending, because I'm not. I'm not asking you if you did this.
No, you saying I did it. I know for a fact I don't have that much anger, madness,
and that's what I want to get.
I don't have that in me though.
But
I can't even go out hunting with nobody because I can't shoot a freaking animal.
I know, but that's what I want to get at, and that's where rage comes in, where somebody violates you, or they do something. I never said you were.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, I don't understand why I wouldn't have no rage towards nobody, not to hurt somebody. there's nothing
Well,
that can make me that.
Is it, and I don't know, and I hate to get into the personal stuff because
That's
couldn't
fine.
imagine sitting here.
This is really personal now.
Yeah,
I might be going to prison, jail.
It's very personal, and that's what I was asking, is I didn't know if maybe you did know Terry, maybe you did come in for a cup of coffee, and maybe he did come on to you, or I don't know, or maybe something happened and you were young and it was 25 years ago.
I never really knew him as his name. I knew him, and that's why other folks looked familiar.
But when you say him, are you saying that?
I can't remember his name.
Can you identify him off of that picture I showed you?
The other picture, that looks.
Kenneth is in visible shock, desperately denying what was unfolding. But it is too late. Back in August 1996, detectives were careful enough to submit the unidentified DNA to public genealogy databases. And with the breakthrough in New Age forensics, using SNP analysis over traditional STRs, they uploaded the sample to GED Match and Family Tree DNA. And as justice would have it, the one unidentified piece of evidence became the cornerstone of cracking this case wide open. What comes next will rip open the darkest chapter of his twisted past.
Now, 25 years ago when you were 31, when shit wasn't as easy as it is now. That's the difference.
Actually, I mean, I had more important things in my life than I do right now. Right now, it's simple. It's.
You said you talked to your daughters?
We've been trying to go back and forth.
You talked to your son?
No, because like I said, he's angry. He thinks I.
What did they say is the cause for the divorce?
I haven't talked to him. I showed him that when everything happened, your mom lied. I mean, basically, she lied, tried to get me arrested, so she had control of the house.
Domestic violence issues?
I mean, but
what did she
lied.
say?
She said I was trying to keep her from leaving. I said no, and it was just the way that everything happened. Even because I had a defense attorney at the time, but we were still separated. Even the defense, because I showed her, okay, if you had something so dramatic in that night, she wrote one report. Then she turned around and wrote another report. I guess the one for the courts, the next day was for the Volusia County Police. They're totally different, and they seen that. And I told my son, and he got mad, but I was like, your mom's going to get arrested. She's going to have to go on court and lie about this. She wrote 2 different reports. And I didn't want my daughter to have to go to judge. Even my daughter told me, Dad, I know Mom lied. She promised me a cell phone. She promised me all this stuff. Because she told the police officer that night, yeah, I'm in fear of my life for my dad. I never hit my kid. I spanked both of them one time in their life.
But your son even went through some measures to change his name.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh, he stayed angry at me because he thinks everything was my fault. No telling what she told. She told my daughter to lie the night I got arrested.
What did your daughter and son do now? Did they work?
The last thing, my son should probably be a doctor by now. I don't know for sure. But
he was in med school and stuff?
When I got my DUI 16 years ago, I sort of couldn't transportation-wise, couldn't go see him. And I was like, when they get old enough, they'll come see me.
Let me ask you, I got to go back into the memory bank with Wanda. You and Wanda, were you guys, through your marriage, always good?
Oh, yeah.
With her?
Yeah.
Consistent?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she uses it like I think most wives do, as far as leverage. You know?
Yeah, well, that's
earn your brownie points, you know.
Yep, that's human nature, isn't it? You think you and Wanda would still be together if it weren't for your DUI?
we already gone through divorce. And that's why the only reason I got the DUI because I had a dog in the car and he freaking got out of his box and it was a little chihuahua and I moved him and I swerved and the cop got me and I was literally living in my semi because I was like, I don't know how the divorce was gonna go, so I'm like, I don't want to start buying something. And I was like, okay, I can't pay rent, I gotta move. So when I got my DUI, I just did a settlement with her. I said, hey, I don't want nothing to do with you. You don't want nothing to do with me. So we're just going to split the 401k. Your bills is yours, mine is mine. And I'm not going to pay child support until my daughter's 18 so she can tell the truth.
What high school did you go to?
Popka High School. So we're actually junior high school. That's when we started, that's when I fell in love with her.
Right.
They didn't start dating until Popka.
Imagine she's going to be dumbfounded when she hears that.
My brother, Tio, everybody's going to be freaking, what?
Yeah. Do you think there's anybody that won't be surprised?
No.
Because...
I mean, everybody's going to be surprised. I mean, I just can't think of somebody that everybody knows me.
So we're down to...
Everybody knows me enough.
Kenneth tried to paint himself as a man of faith, someone who had changed. But then came the red flags. An arrest in 2006 for domestic battery after his wife tried to leave him due to his addictions. Sticking to the role he has built up throughout the interrogation, he again denies everything. Add to that a 2004 arrest for disorderly conduct, solidifying as a troubling pattern immediately. Detectives notice his restless hands, shifting posture, and silent signals of rising tension. But what Kenneth never saw coming was how a scrap of DNA would blow his past wide open.
Did Terry ever cross the line with you when you were in the store? Come on to you,
That's what I'm
grab
saying.
you, try to kiss you?
So I didn't know his name.
Did you do something?
I could have walked away from anybody coming, trying to do something with me.
But it's 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
I never seen anybody in that store because if I was passing by or wherever I was going, I know it was Circle K and 7-Eleven would be open.
But you seem like a friendly dude. You seem like somebody that's social, that people may not be friends with you, but when they first meet you, they kind of shoot because you seem like a personable guy. I don't know you outside of this setting, but that's what it appears to me. So what I'm saying is if Terry took that the wrong way and he knew you from coming in, making deliveries, and you're shooting them, and he came on to you, that's important.
Yeah, I just don't know if I made
But did that happen?
No.
But did that happen?
No.
And there's nothing to be embarrassed about or ashamed of.
I wouldn't be embarrassed about it. I mean, I can't help somebody, if they're gay, then they're gay.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is if you took him up on something and went too far, you're like, wow,
I can't.
married.
There's no way in the world I could ever be gay. There's nothing. There's no gayness in me. I'm just a heterosexual.
It's almost everybody. Well, that's probably everybody we speak to that we show the crime scene photos. Like, oh man, this is deeply personal. This is somebody who really, and that's kind of the classic, what we call like an overkill.
I've seen it.
Where it'd be like, you don't need to stab somebody 73 times.
That's why I know damn well. There's no way I could do that.
Listen, man, I don't know how much we can go round and round. I would.
I know. I know.
If
I can't. There's nothing I can tell you differently to make you okay. Like you
reason,
said, you have to go back and you have to say, hey, he said he didn't do it. That's all I can tell you is I didn't do it.
A reasonable explanation would be good. But you can't even find one of those.
I didn't do it. I can't pull it out of the air and say, hey, I that's something I did, and I'll tell you what happened. There's nothing I can tell you. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I can't change it. I can't explain what
All right, well, we'll regroup our things, man. Let me ask you this. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear, affirm, or promise everything you told us in this interview today was true and correct?
Yes, sir.
So help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, we're going to gather our stuff. Just give us a minute, all right? Well, you need some more water or something? I'm sure you might have to use the bathroom in the next 20 minutes. Just hang out here for us.
As a last resort of a condemned man, Kenneth repeatedly denies any involvement in Terry's murder. Despite his insistence on innocence, the evidence is stacked against him. His refusal to take responsibility only deepens the mystery and solidifies his guilt, setting the stage for a courtroom trial where his fate will unfold. Kenneth Robert Stowe Jr. was charged with first-degree murder and stood a 5-day trial in Orange County, Florida. The jury found him guilty, and with the help of advancements in forensic DNA technology, including familial DNA tracing, the case, which was unsolved for 20 years, was finally solved with Judge Robert J. Egan sentencing Kenneth to life in prison.
These cold cases were reopened after decades, finally putting suspects behind bars. For more such cases and more, subscribe to Real Crime Psychology.